what are like top three possibly lessons that you can just say ki ek, do, teen. Top three lessons that you have had as an entrepreneur, that you possibly people who are watching want to get into entrepreneur journey themselves, they can learn.
You don't have to change the world. You don't have to like say, ki, okay, I have impacted 1,000 people. One person is enough. If you are
Right.
able to create something good for them, impact is also a big
Right.
word. Something good, some good experience for them. Good memory. Human resource कैसे है? मतलब पहाड़ का समझ आता है, पत्थर दे रहा है, नदी का समझ आता है, पानी आ रहा है, खाने का समझ आ रहा है. Human resource कैसे बन गया? Human resource तो है, लेकिन वो तभी एक कंट्री के
अच्छा.
लिए रिसोर्स है जब वो ह्यूमन कैपिटल बन जाए. Taking a training session on menstrual hygiene management, very difficult subject to talk about when you're doing in the community level. क्योंकि fraction of people they think that आप उनके बच्चों को बदतमीज बना रहे हैं. Now there was this girl and I still remember her, like she was like or maybe somewhere around 16 17, very young girl. So she came to me after the training session. She was like, मैम आपको पता नहीं है, यहाँ पे ना आप आए थे ना तो सब लोग मिल के कोशिश यही कर रहे थे कि आपको डांटेंगे और मार के भगा देंगे.
Oh my god.
Right?
Looking to get into training or possibly want to get associated with you. थोड़ा सा back story बताएं. MeHAN, what MeHAN does, what are the different programs that you offer?
So we started MeHAN as Mental Health Allies Network. The full form of MeHAN is this, by the way. Initiative which is called Youth Hub. Now Youth Hub means it's a kind of aggregated platform.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, it's a like public platform only. So it what we are trying to solve over there is a lot of aggregators are there for jobs, right? Naukri.com, Shine.com, Indeed, then a lot of other are there. So what we are trying to create it all the kind of these platforms, job giving platforms on one platform only for the youth, and most likely we are trying to create the local environment also, local employment also, because a lot of time it's not easier for the people and especially female from rural India to walk out of their home, migrate out of their home. So until unless they're getting the opportunities in the local scenario within like 30-50 kilometers of where they're staying, it is very difficult to solve India's unemployment crisis. Anyone who is watching this, please get in touch with me if you want to collaborate with us for these kind of efforts, if you're really into social impact.
Property, my car, you have like a legal will. How about writing a will of your life?
For this wonderful approach as well, and I'm very happy. Like I said, we align on a lot of things, but here I live my life day by day, by the way. Like I have this thing. And day by day, it's not a sadistic thought. Like, so I would like my business to go to at least because I have a lot of books, people. I think so. I'm looking around and seeing how many books I have right now in this room as well. I would like to give all of these books to.
Hello, and thank you so much for tuning in once again. Maridas, the host of Coachee Diaries podcast, honored and privileged today because we are going to talk to Shivani Rawat. Now, if you're wondering who Shivani Rawat, some of you might already know her. She is the founder of MeHAN Learning and Development. She is also a YPAT member at the UNICEF. To give you a little context, imagine this: you are young and you are creating that sort of social impact with close to 2,000 training hours, having trained over 15,000 students. Now when you are talking about training, it's not just training them in certain skill set or training, but you're actually planting those seeds that is going to help them to become a better human being, a better employee, a better person. So that's what we are looking at today. So having said that, welcome Shivani to this podcast.
Thank you so much, Maria, for inviting me over here. I'm actually feeling really privileged and kind of sort of excited as well because, we are going to talk about a lot of things related to training, development, social impact, public policies, workforce preparedness, skill gap, and anything else you would like to ask me.
Oh,
So I'm
yes,
very, very
absolutely.
excited to be on the other side of the table sometimes.
Oh, yes, I
Yes.
mean, have been quite excited from the first time that we spoke, and I remember, we connected on LinkedIn. I happened to follow your page, and I was like, quite interesting work. And to be really honest, whoever was doing your creative for MeHAN Learning and Development, hats off to them, because it was eye-catching. I was like, hey, you know what, this looks actually good. Who's doing all this creative? Because I'm also learning into how to do all those creatives. So I'm like, interesting. Who's this people, behind this company? And that's how it got to your profile. And I looked at your profile like, oh, This young girl, is working with UNICEF. She's creating that sort of social impact. She's working, and especially the first time that we spoke, and I do remember, आपको भी याद होगा that we said that the first conversation, although it was supposed to be like a 5 minutes hi hello, ended up like about an hour or so. And I so wished that that raw conversation would have been something that actually would have been recorded. It could have been a great podcast, by the way.
No worries, Maria. We'll create another podcast like that. And like I have
Wow.
already proposed, weekly podcast with Shivani Rawat. This is something I'll propose. And on the note of the creative, see, I'm very grateful to my team. So I would like to mention Miss Preetha Mitra. She is the person, and she's also my co-founder at MeHAN L&D. All the beautiful visuals which you see on MeHAN's wherever, like all the Instagram handle or in the on the LinkedIn handle, everything is done by her most of the time.
Okay.
So yes.
Amazing. So, to all the viewers, firstly, let me just tell a little bit about, if you are tuned in and this is the first time you have come to this podcast, let me tell you a little what is the Coachee Diaries podcast. By the way, people keep asking me, and you might have heard me talk about this in the previous episodes as well. But I go by the name Coachee Maryadas, and a lot of people ask me, sir, by profession you are a coach. Then why do you prefer being called a coachee? And the story is very simple. When I got into coaching, there's something called as a Dunning-Kruger effect. So Shivani might have obviously heard about it. Dunning-Kruger effect. When you're new to some skill or to some profession, your confidence is high because you know little about that skill set and that subject. But the more you get into that subject, your knowledge increases. You start realizing, hey, I don't know a lot about this particular skill or this subject, and then all of a sudden your confidence goes down. So for me, that happened, and in that process, I started looking at by what exactly is coaching. Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing something wrong? And in that process, when I started working with a lot of clients, something beautiful happened to me, a transformation. I realized in a coaching conversation, there are two people, a coach who is, the facilitator, and the coachee who is the learner. And what I realized is in all of this, I am actually the one, by profession, though I'm a coach, I'm the one who's learning a lot. Different individuals, different needs. So I have to go back, do a lot of homework. And hence, I realized that I would like to be called as a coachee rather than be called as a coach. It helped me differentiate, stand out from the crowd. But I go by that approach to everything in life. So maybe I'm good with training, but I'm maybe not really good at stock market. So I'm still a learner. I'm not that great in terms of possibly martial art, still a learner. And it actually helps. And the Kochi Diary is a very, very basic and humble attempt at making sure that whatever I'm learning through the guest, they are learning their stories, their challenges. We bring it out through the podcast so that you and I together we can all learn as one community. So, Shivani, thank you so much for being part of this Kochi Diaries podcast. By the way, the tagline that we have for the podcast is Lessons from the Book of Life. And today we are looking for lessons from the Book of Life of Shivani Rawat. Shivani, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Maria. And also, I'm so happy to see how beautifully my philosophy of life aligns with your philosophy of life. So when you're talking about being a learner, and you might ask any of the participants who have been in my training programs, I always say this. It always starts from this only. See, I'm not the perfect person.
Hmm.
I'm still a learner. Of course, I'm sharing a few knowledge nuggets which I've got in my life with you.
Hmm.
Maybe it can be with any skill set, even if I'm taking posh kind of workshops, if I'm taking, let's say, behavioral skills workshop, leadership, and then business strategy, and then any other thing in social impact as well. I always say there that it's going to be a two-way connection. I am going to
Yes.
share what I have learned, but I'm going to look forward to all the learning which you people have to give me,
Hmm.
all the participants out there. And it is a very bold statement sometimes when you say it in a conference. People look at you, but hey, I call you an expert. Yeah, I might be an expert, but that means my capability to learn more and more.
Hmm.
That's how you are going to maintain your expertise through generations. Otherwise, in
Absolutely.
today's era, it's like one day you're learning a skill set, another day it's going to be an obsolete skill set.
Hmm.
How are you going to find the gaps? How are you
Hmm.
going to see what are your avenues to grow as a person? And I believe training, coaching, mentorship, then when we are talking about facilitation, when we are talking about teaching as well in this era, it is more of about knowing that, okay, this is where I stand, This is what I'm here for, and this is what I'm here to learn.
Hmm.
And this is a responsibility which I think so all of the people from our fraternity, training and development fraternity, should understand.
Quite interesting. And there's a very beautiful phrase that I read, and just resonated exactly with what you said. Every expert was once a beginner.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm still a beginner, by the way.
I am also a beginner in so many new things, and this entire podcast has just been about 8 weeks or so. And there's a lot of things that I've learned and keep learning, and quite exciting to be on this journey. Here's the first question that I have for you, Shivani. I know Shivani from the LinkedIn profile. I see
Okay.
your company's page, and there's like a description about you. There's things that people can obviously see if this is the first time they are seeing you. They are also possibly looking at your profile, and this is, I believe, all of us play different roles, and this is the thing that we are showing professionally. But apart from this, who is the real Shivani? Say, for
Hmm.
example, you said you have a co-founder, right? So if I have to ask her from her point of view, who's Shivani?
Hmm. Okay, so Maya, Shivani is a very energetic, uh, very open to listening, very, very friendly, always like, be there for people, whatever it can be there, whatever possible. Very humble, very grounded by her skill set only. Like, I have to develop that I am very grounded with people, very adaptable person, and also a person who loves three things a lot in her life.
Interesting.
So there's a thing in Sanskrit which
Hmm.
says, and I read it in class sixth.
Good
So
memory then.
Sahitya, yeah, Sahitya Sangeet Kala Vihina,
Hmm.
Sakshat Pashu Pushya Vishanhina.
Hmm.
Now it stayed with me. And it was like, it is the guiding light of my life. So I am a person apart from what all you people see on LinkedIn, on Instagram, or maybe if I'm speaking on any platform with UNICEF YuWaah. I'm a person who's guided by literature
Hmm.
and art and music. I keep on reading, I keep on being in rooms because that gives me a lot of life. And I'm an avid reader as well. I keep on reading so many different things. There's no, if you'll ask me what is your favorite genre, no, I don't have any favorite genre. I keep on reading, keep on, deliberating in myself only that, okay, in that book, the author was saying this, but in this book, the author is saying this, maybe two very different perspectives about the same thing. So most of the time, if you have a chip which you can install over here, and you can see what goes on in Shivani's mind, a lot of time I am just involved in those deliberation in myself only. Okay, maybe Maria was saying this, but let's say XY, let's say Preeta was saying this, but what is my stance in this?
Hmm.
So I'm a very, I think so. I'm kind of a thinker person as well. If you look
Hmm.
around it, I love flowers. If you are
Hmm.
meeting me and you want to give me something, get all the flowers in the world. I love them, and I'm also a person who plays sarangi.
Hmm.
Now, what is
Wow.
sarangi? Sarangi is a very old traditional Indian instrument. If you people might have heard two songs people resonate with when I say sarangi. One, new age people are like Chaudhary from Mame Khanji. Duk
Hmm.
chuk na jao ji. So there's this instrument, the lute comes. And then the second song is Urja Kale Kama. So there is also
Hmm.
sarangi. So that instrument is called sarangi. But my interest into sarangi didn't come from this. It came from when I
Hmm.
was probably 5 to 6 years old. And I have lived my entire life in Uttar Pradesh. If I'm talking about my childhood, my hometown is Barabanki, which is nearby to Lucknow. So there used to be a lot of yogis. वो होते हैं ना जो साधु जी होते हैं जो इधर उधर आते जाते हैं. So I
Hmm.
was like going somewhere to my with my grandfather, and then there was a group of yogis. They were playing sarangi, and they were
Hmm.
not playing music. They were doing storytelling with sarangi. So
Wow.
if you permit me, I'll use a little bit of my regional language. So yeah, so for example, the person, the orator of the story, they're like, Kaho Sarangi, Kaho the means Sarangi, what is going on? And Sarangi, like they're playing it, and Sarangi is saying, sab theek hai, sab badhiya hai. And I was able to resonate with it. That means I was able to listen Sarangi saying this. And that
Hmm.
became my love of my life at the age of 6 and 7. It took me a lot of time to finally find a Guruji, and now I have one. He's from Mia Tansen's Gharana, Muradabadi Sania Gharana. His name is Nasir Khan. And Ustad ji has been there with me from last 3 years, and I play a lot of music like that.
Mm,
Apart from that, I'm a person who really likes to try different cuisine. Although I'm a
mm,
vegetarian, but wherever I'm going, I'll try different cuisine, culture, my kind of travel, and I travel a lot, by the way. My kind
mm,
of travel is just going there, sitting at a place, and then talking to local people. Not in, a lot of restaurant, hotels, not like that. I'll just sit in the street, maybe somewhere. If there is a press wala bhaiya, I'll be like, और भैया क्या चल रहा है? कैसी होती है यार life? क्या हो रहा है? Then भैया will be like, एक तो पहले वो शॉक हो जाएंगे because for them like who is this girl talking?
mm,
But yeah, I think so. The training which I do, when you look me at from the trainer perspective, there's a fluidity in my training. There's a
mm,
flexibility in my training, adaptability in my training. I think so that comes from that conversation because
mm,
I'm able to connect with a person whom I don't know, maybe 2 seconds later, and 2 seconds later they are my best friends. They will be telling all the gossips. पता है यहाँ तो मतलब ये सरकार का ये चल रहा है, रोड नहीं बना रहे हैं, बहुत कम कमाई होती है, घर में
mm,
ये चल रहा है. एंड इफ आई एम उत्तर प्रदेश, so they will be like, okay मुन्नी, this is ये हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है. And yeah, this is the kind of person I am, and yeah, that's what I want to become also, even if when I am, let's say, 70 years old.
wow.
कि अगर
I
कोई
mean,
6 साल का बच्चा भी आ जाए, 7 साल का बच्चा, 6 महीने 7 महीने, so I'm able to engage with them.
quite interesting. I mean, I know for sure, it all helps because when I also do my trainings, there's a lot of story that comes in. People ask question and you are able to relate with the stories only because you have lived those stories. You have actually gone and spoken to people. It may not be your own original story, but like, what there's something called a technique for feedback called SBI, if you've heard about it. Situation, behavior, impact.
Yes, of
Now,
course.
there's a lot of theory that goes in, and if I have to tell it, usually what I do is I tell it through the story of my friend Rita, who works for the Taj Hotel.
Okay.
And then in that story, people are like, "Ha, I remember Rita's story." They don't remember that actual technique, but they remember
Absolutely.
story. And storytelling is such a beautiful thing. And I'm very happy that through music, through your experience as a child, you have this passion enough storytelling and looking at things from a very awe aspect of life, which is beautiful. Quite interesting. So while you're talking about all this thing, there's a couple of things that I picked up. One of it is how important do you think is being looking at life each and every moment, looking at life with like, wow, there's so many new things to learn.
I think so, Maria, you are not asking a question. You're asking me to define maybe my life in one state. See, like I said, I'm very deliberating kind of person within myself also. Like
Hmm,
the thing is, when you look at life from the perspective that life is very long, I think so you kind of sort of take it for granted. Right. You say, कि, okay, 70 years I'm going to be here. Right now I'm 28. I have so much of time. ठीक है, कल कर लेंगे. It becomes very, what I should say, it becomes very for granted. You know,
hmm,
okay. But when you look at it from the perspective that the time is ticking,
hmm,
and I'll tell you one very beautiful thing which I've realized with music is that we have to maintain the beat, the tal, right?
hmm,
One,
hmm,
2, 3, 4. And when I'm actually practicing sarangi, putting a maybe timer in front of me, and then there are a lot of applications, sometimes with my Guruji as well.
hmm,
It's like your beat should be on point, right? For example, there is a tal called Jagtal, and then
hmm,
Jagtal has like 10 beats, and you have to make sure that every beat and whatever you are playing is in sync. I
hmm,
think so. I've never felt time slipping like that because that sometimes gives me a lot of good anxiety as well. By the way, anxieties can be good and bad. We will talk about the psychology later as well. But yeah, that good anxiety is there that, oh, time is slipping. I just lost 10 seconds of my life. It
hmm,
was not just like playing this.
hmm,
Another time I realized time slipping away, and that is like like I went to Kerala for a travel, for a personal
hmm,
travel, and first time in my life I saw sea,
hmm,
ocean, samandar. And I used to be very scared of water, by the way. I had to learn swimming to get away of it. But again, I was standing there and the wave came. And I'm like standing. And while the wave was going back, it took away some of the sand,
hmm,
below my feet. And in real life, I felt what is time
hmm,
sinking away. It's just going away. from like your feet. You cannot hold it. You cannot see that, this is going to happen. And these are the kind of things they really give me a sense of time.
Hmm.
So when I look at my life, I feel like, okay, let's say if I have a good logical reason to do something,
Hmm.
I see the impact. Let's say if I'm doing something, how is it going to impact people in a good way or bad way? Both way. They are important, because bad, if it is impacting in certain bad manner, I'll not do that thing.
Hmm.
Knowingly, I'll not do that thing. But if it is impacting someone in good, even one person, I'll do that thing. Sometimes I'll take risk like that. Sometimes, I'll have the conversation that people will be like, what did you just say? But yeah, that is very important sometimes to give that one statement which keeps
Yeah.
people back.
Hmm.
um, Having said that, also, Maria, like apart from this, I'll move a little bit towards the relationships and the people in
Hmm.
your life, because that is also a very important part of your life, right?
Very true.
People who are your core, your
Hmm.
family, your friends, your relationships. Now, the thing is, with them, I have this theory that everyone has a role to play in your life.
Hmm.
They'll come, they'll play, and then they'll go away. You
Hmm.
cannot stop them, you cannot hold on to them. All you can do with them is create maybe good time. And by
Hmm.
good time, it doesn't have to be always like smiling time.
Hmm.
Sometimes sadness when they are like feeling really bad or they're going through something, just staying with them physically, mentally, financially, emotionally, even economically, however it is possible. I think so. That is the essence of life, if you ask me. And
Wow.
coming back to how it helps me as a trainee, as a trainer and trainee both.
Hmm.
When you go to a training room, let's say, and I'm just taking a corporate training example first, then we'll
Yeah.
move to
Sure.
the social impact. Let's suppose you went to a communication training. Let's say I'm taking very
Hmm.
generic training out there, and you're telling them, okay, there are the frameworks, you have to do this, you have to do that. Now you see a person sitting right in front of you, and they're not resonating. And as a
Hmm.
trainer, that's why I always propagate the trainer should also learn about learner psychology, so that they can also read the non-verbal cues. It's
Very
never
true.
about how much I know and pouring the bucket in front
Hmm.
of the people. It's always about having certain objectives,
Hmm.
having time to deliberate on those objectives, and
Hmm.
come back with certain outcomes, whatever activity, whatever methodology you're using, that can be changed also. That's why
Hmm.
trainers should be adaptable.
Very
So
true.
in the communication training, no, Maria, if the person is sitting and you're
Hmm.
seeing that they're not able to resonate with what you're saying, I think so. It's very important to just go and talk to them, like just normally. It's like not
Hmm.
putting them in the spot, but
Hmm.
just say, "Yeah, hey Maria, so what do you think about this topic?"
Yeah.
It's very
To get them
important
to
to make
engage.
them.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and I always say this to my participant, no matter if it is a 15-year-old kid or no matter it's like 75-year-old person, that if you're giving me 2 hours of your valuable time,
Hmm.
I am going to make sure that you at least have good memories from here, because
Hmm.
knowledge is very subjective.
Yeah.
And memory means that, okay, you should be enjoying this training, because training is
Hmm.
an experience particularly. Coming
100%.
back to social impact training, how it really helps, this
Hmm.
perspective of life. When you go to grounds, when you go
Hmm.
and see that, okay, you want to, let's say, train a person for menstrual hygiene management,
Hmm.
and you went with a module, you have created something, maybe some activity, this, that, and everything. Now you went there and the lady is telling you, but in my family, if I really
Hmm.
like mention the term
Hmm.
menstruation
Hmm.
or Mahabari,
Hmm.
they're going to abscond me. They're going to like maybe sometime beat me as well.
Hmm.
Now you cannot tell them no. Now you cannot say that, okay, no, no, I don't care about that perspective. What
Hmm.
I care about is I'm telling you this, just do this.
Hmm.
No, this is not how it will work. You have to sit with them, you have to talk, you have to say, okay, these are your problems, this is how you can solve. And if there is anything which you can solve in your purview of a trainer, mentor, coach, you need to help them because you're
Yeah.
there for them,
Very
right?
true. Very
And
true.
talking about another field which I do a lot of training with the youth, right?
Hmm.
Age group of 15 to 29, like favorite. I'm also from that age group only, so favorite.
Hmm.
But the thing is, when you go and say, okay, this is how you make the CV, this is how you're going to say in the interview, and that this is the agenda you have to follow, be in this box. You're not training them for anything.
Hmm.
You're actually telling them that these are your limit. You're clipping off their wings.
Very
And
true.
a lot of trainers I see and interact with, they do this
Hmm.
knowingly, unknowingly. So yeah, I think so. As a trainer, it's always listen to the participants also when they are coming up and saying something, and then adapt as per their own experiences and what they want, right?
Hmm.
And then I think so that is the best form of training or learning transfer that can happen with training, without training. So these experience, Maria,
Hmm.
in life, they really help. And I think so. I say there's a lot of time when we are hosting TTTs, train the training
Hmm.
sessions at
Hmm.
MeHAN as well. There's a certification course for L&D specialist which we do. So I often say this that as a trainer, your wealth is not what you're creating in form of money.
Hmm.
Your wealth is something which you're creating in the form of experiences, and
Very true.
listening
Hmm.
to people is one of the very important core skills, and being empathetic about what they are saying and how they are saying.
Hmm. No, that's absolutely true, and I think certain things like this has happened with me as well, and it's quite funny. And now that I think about it, it's quite funny. Uh, the first time, this is just after COVID, and I remember I was in my office at my desk. I had to attend one of the learning and development virtual training because everyone is most of these people are just different sites, and there's a trainer from Chennai. He's doing a session, and I'm sitting there. I don't on the floor. We didn't have access to camera, so I'm not on camera, and I've informed this to the trainer. So all the more it becomes difficult because now he can't see me, and so I'm just on Zoom, possibly with my headset, listening to whatever he's saying, half interested, and I'll be very open about it. It's not as like the trainer was doing something wrong, but I was myself a little half interested. I was doing multitasking, and what happened in that moment is that I like, इससे better trading करेगा मैं. Whatever this guy is saying, it is absolutely like useless. I can do better training. And then I decided I want to get into training. So eventually 6 months later I got an IJP, I cleared, I got into training. And then I was like, shit, I should have not wished for this because I realized trainer's life is actually difficult.
Absolutely.
The training delivery that 1 hour 2 hours, it seems that, hey, trainers have like a chill life. No, it is not, because managing those people from a participant perspective, it's easy. But when actually a trainer managing maybe like a batch of 20, 25, sometimes 50, absolutely, absolutely crazy. And it teaches you a lot.
Absolutely.
But here's an interesting thing, and we'll shift a little bit. While you're talking about your journey, there was this one beautiful thing you said, that you have your Ustad, and you learn sarangi from him, and there's a certain process to learning. Okay, all this experience also help, but what I have seen is people who are generally into artistic field, into arts, they have a lot of reverence for Ustad, for Gurujis.
Yes, yes.
Okay, the same is not true for corporate world.
Hmm. Hmm.
So a trainer
Absolutely.
will not get the same sort of reverence and respect that someone maybe who's like like a ustad in maybe teaching you some instrument. Because when someone at an ustad says, hey, what, Shivani, you have to be here, you have to do this, you have to practice this like 10 hours, you will do it. But you
Absolutely.
come to a corporate world and say, hey, what, you have to do this, and like, I'm not participating in this.
Absolutely.
Something like that happened with you also. Do you see something like that? Because I know while you're
Hmm.
working for the social impact, you will have people who have lesser things in life,
Hmm.
and they obviously respect and value whatever trainings you're doing.
Absolutely.
But with the corporate life may not be the same. So anything that you'd like to share?
For sure, Amaria, and very interestingly put a question as well. And I would like to answer this question in two parts.
Hmm.
First, I'd like to tell you because I belong from all of these words: corporate, then social impact, then the art world, all of these words. So I think so it should be, very interesting for you people to hear, like all the
Sure.
audience also to hear. And second, I will give you the answer of the question which you asked in the later half, that, okay, why exactly it doesn't work with the corporate like this, like it works in the social impact also. First part is when I'm talking about my Ustad ji. Let's say I am talking about music and I'm talking about something which is related to self-exploration. Any kind of art, literature, or music, in my opinion, is a self-exploration first. if I'm practicing a rag, it is never like I'm just practicing sare ga ma pa. No, no, no. It's
Hmm.
always about practicing the same thing again and again, again and again, and again and again. I will tell you, it has been 3 years. I'm still practicing rag bhairav. I'm still practicing let's say, rag yaman. So, it's like every time you play this, there's something which is from within you, which connects you with that subject. And how Ustad or any Guruji in any of these formats, and particularly with my Guruji,
Hmm.
they help us with that they are there to tell us that, okay, you're going wrong sometimes.
Hmm.
And when you are actually in that sitting, there are two kinds of classes, by the way. One is Sina Bandi, which is like one on one. For example, if you're teaching me something one on one,
Hmm.
it's Sina Bandi. And
Hmm.
second is like group class where like 10, 15 people, mentorship and then the training,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? But my Guruji is there to make sure that I don't practice anything which is wrong. Because
Yeah.
unlearning becomes very, very difficult when you're self exploring something.
Very true.
Sometimes because of our own biases, and
Hmm.
sometimes because you don't want to understand that you have done something wrong,
Hmm.
right? So Ustadji is very important, and in my life, whether it is music, arts, or training, or even let's say doing a BCom degree, which I've done, or maybe 11th, 12th, anywhere, you won't believe I have had so many mentors, so
Hmm.
many Ustadjis. I might not have called them Ustadjis, but yeah, they are there.
Hmm.
Until now, they're here. And whenever there are times of adversity and when I am stuck somewhere, they're still there. Or maybe their words are still there as guiding life.
Hmm.
And coming back to my Sarangi Ustadji, Nasir Khan sir, unka, there's this thing. I
Hmm.
think so. I might be the person who initiated the process that I want to learn Sarangi. Once he gave, there's a thing called Ganda Bandhan in
Hmm.
Bharatiya Shastriya Sangeet, which means they'll consider you as their own gharana, your own
Wow.
family, right? It's very difficult to get that Ganda, by the way. You have to
Hmm.
showcase
You have to
the
earn it.
capability.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to earn it.
If there,
Hmm.
if any one of you wants to know more about Ganda Bandhan and the process related to it, please refer to Amazon Prime series Bandish Bandits. So you will
Hmm.
get to know how you exactly get. There's a thing called Lohe Ke Chane also, Maria Das,
Okay.
which we get when once we are like being a part of the family.
Hmm.
But now, because I'm a working professional as well, my Guruji is also a working professional. He's working with
Hmm.
the Ministry of Cultural Affairs as well, by the way.
Hmm.
But at the same
Wow.
time, he'll make sure he'll take the follow up that if I'm practicing or not, let's say if I'm not coming from last 2 weeks, I'm outside somewhere, he'll message me. He'll be like, कहाँ हो भाई क्या चल रहा है आज फोन नहीं किया तुमने so he's not fond about कि I'm calling and talking to him. He's
Hmm.
making sure that I'm staying there. And what
Holding
I've
accountable.
observed,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Very important.
And what I've seen from, how he treats me or any other, my Guru Bhais or Guru Bahens in the family, it's very different for every other person. It's a very personalized
Hmm.
approach. He knows that I will do it. Now that like I'm being with him like for 3 years, he knows that I'll do it. Only thing is he need to make sure that that reinforcement is there.
Hmm. There's a
But
little
when
nudge every now and
yeah,
then.
yeah, every time. And then he'll be very upfront also. ऐसे नहीं हो पाएगा. He will
Hmm.
not say that, okay, Shivani is from UNICEF or Shivani is from, let's say, co-founder. No, 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 nothing. For him, I'm just a shishya. I'm just a
Yes.
student. And I really enjoy that. I
Hmm.
really enjoy that. Because the way he'll say, तुम practice नहीं कर रही हो. And there's like, we play sarangi from here, from our this knuckles.
Hmm.
Here. This is from where. And this is a very soft part. But
Hmm.
this also tells him that I'm not practicing.
Hmm.
So like he'll be like तुम कर नहीं रही हो ऐसे तो नहीं होगा रियाज छूट जाएगा so that is very important and I respect my guruji for accommodating a working professional
Hmm.
into a practice into a sadhana like Shastriya Sangeet from last
Hmm.
3 years and
Wow.
I think so that's the role of a guru
Hmm.
they're not there to do the knowledge transfer as in like teleporting the knowledge no 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 they're there to tell you where you're going wrong
Wow.
so I'm very grateful to my Sarangi Ustadji. First of all, I just said two parts.
Hmm.
So that is one thing. Now coming back to why and how it doesn't work in corporate and as a
Hmm.
trainer, what my
Hmm.
perspective about it. In my opinion, Maria, I have met so many of my mentees and trainees
Hmm.
who have said that you are my mentor and trainer.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
you are my guru, and this is a very responsible thing to be.
Hmm.
It's a very responsible place or position to be in
Oh,
also.
very true.
In corporate also, Maria. Very
Hmm.
unlike a lot of other trainers because I keep on meeting, listening to my fellows a lot of time. We do host a meetup also in Delhi NCR for
Hmm.
trainers, facilitators. There is
Yeah,
an
I
entire
think
agenda
I
is this
saw
only.
you have
Yeah, yeah.
one of the upcoming.
Upcoming, yeah, on
Yeah.
14th, we will be doing it. Skills Fair. The name of the event is
Hmm.
Skills Fair. It's an offline meetup. So now the thing is, I keep on listening to people. None of my participants are not, doing this, doing that. But I think so. Respect is earned. It
Hmm.
cannot be asked for.
Oh, very true.
You cannot say, okay, I am this, so respect me.
Hmm.
As an individual, there are some dignities which you have to carry forward.
Hmm.
Like, for example, अच्छे से बात करना, talking to
Hmm.
someone in a polite manner.
Hmm.
If you have any contradiction to the opinion, how to put it, how to do the conflict resolution, all of those skill set are skill set which as a human is important. But
Hmm.
I cannot ask any XYZ person to say, okay, I am your trainer, so respect me as a guru.
Hmm.
No, that will only happen when the trainee or coachee or your mentee will realize it from their own. That, okay, whatever this person is saying relates to me, A, is useful for me, B, and can be scalable for me, C.
Hmm.
Because in corporate, the work environment is such productivity oriented. You have to give ROI for everything. You're always in a
Numbers.
race,
Yeah.
either with yourself or with your colleague or with your, let's say, senior management.
Hmm.
Right. So you don't have time to do that self exploration. That is missing.
Hmm. Quite interesting
I,
question. Sorry to interrupt, but
yeah.
quite interesting question. Okay.
Yes.
So one thing that I'm always fascinated by is, I have heard stories about, Lord Ram, him being sent to Gurukul. And then same thing with the Mahabharata also. All these people that we are like the main characters,
Yes.
whether it's the Kauravas or the Pandavas, they are sent to Gurukuls.
Yes.
And quite interesting for me because when I think about it, like, this guy is a sage, sadhu.
Yes.
Okay, he's not a king.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to run the kingdom, or possibly he not had like a formal training into running a kingdom. He's
Absolutely.
never done that. Not no experience.
Absolutely.
Not, I wouldn't say uh, experience in how to do it, but maybe like a practical experience.
Yes.
And then when I look at those people, they are great because they're teaching horse riding, they
Yeah.
are teaching sword fighting, they are teaching
Absolutely.
the hand-to-hand combat, they're teaching
Absolutely.
them meditation, and I'm like, but this person is like how? And then
Okay.
quite interesting,
Mhm.
regardless whether you're a prince or not, you are equal.
Yes.
And the thing that I'm trying to get here is, while you are into training, do you
Yeah.
sometimes feel that regardless of whether this person is a prince or princess, or coming from a different social impact,
Yes.
your projects,
Mm-hmm.
you are treating everyone similar, and then just like those gurus there, maybe you're not running a business directly, but
Of
because you
course.
work with so many people, you are not a king but rather a kingmaker.
Yeah.
Does
That's
being a
true.
trainer sometimes make you feel that way?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, the thing is, see, Maria, what I was telling you that, with the productivity,
Hmm.
now very good that you're giving me a lot more talking points also.
Hmm.
So in corporates, mostly a lot of people they get into corporate with a perspective. I would say
Hmm.
that, but maybe the perspective can be earning money, being financially
Hmm.
independent, or
Hmm.
maybe creating maybe a kind of career boost for themselves in like
Hmm.
upcoming years. But most of them they lose their purpose, and that's
Yeah.
what I have seen as a trainer. If I'm going and I'm saying, okay, why are you communicating? Let's say communication skill only, but why are you communicating?
Hmm.
Most of the time, they will just sit relaxed, numb, they'll not speak.
Hmm.
You know why? Because a lot of time people lose their ability to process things because they're
Hmm.
so prone to someone coming and telling them, okay, this is what you have to do. And
Hmm.
they are just performing the task for them. I'm not saying
Correct.
it's bad to follow the instruction, it's definitely
Hmm.
good. But asking question is also something which should be much appreciated in the corporate environments as well, in order to make people self-exploratory, to make them understand these are your unique ability. This is how you can make this word, let's say 10, 10 say 100, 100 say 1,000.
Hmm. Hmm.
And coming back to your Gurukul thing, yes, when I am as a
Hmm.
trainer, I don't see who is sitting in front of me. Okay, is let's say CEO, or maybe he might be just an executive. Or for me, in a case, yeah, it might be possible that when I'm, because I also go to the villages and social impact is there. If the person is like
Hmm. Hmm.
absolutely someone who doesn't have anything at all in life, like any materialistic thing
Hmm.
they don't have, not very good source of earning, not a very good maybe family background. I don't see them for them like who they are. For me, when they're
Hmm.
in my training room, my
Hmm.
agenda as a trainer, 5 objectives or 6 objectives,
Hmm.
whatever I have in hand, and my outcome should be this. In between,
Hmm.
it is all learning transfer, no matter
Hmm.
which methodology I'm choosing, and psychological
Hmm.
understanding of learning.
Hmm.
It always helps me, Maria. People think, I'm a trainer, I'm not a therapist, so why should I be a psychology oriented person? No, you're working with behavioral modeling. You're working when you're in the training room, your responsibility is there because you're going to change maybe sometimes the perspective of a person of looking towards life. And this is going to impact them for a longer period of time. So those gurus and Gurukul gurus and all the Ustadjis, all of these people, like I said, they explored themselves so much that they know that this is my skill set. I,
Hmm.
as a trainer, I know that, for example, if I'm taking a soft skills training program, let's say in real estate industry,
Hmm.
and if
Hmm.
I'm taking a soft skills training program, let's say in BFSI industry, very different industry. If
Hmm.
I'm taking care of a soft skills training program, let's say in any of the IT industry, three
Hmm.
very different industries.
Very true.
And when I go to the training room, you can ask any of my clients. I'm giving like everyone an open challenge out there. The very first of three things, I established that. See, I am expert of training and development. You are expert of your industry. So this is going to
Hmm.
be two-way. You're going to
Hmm.
tell me insights about your industry. I'm going to tell you my insights about training and development, how it can be performed.
Amazing.
And Maria, it always establishes trust like this, like in a
Hmm.
jiffy. Because
Hmm.
people now consider you as an equivalent.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, this is some
Co-creators. Yeah.
expert. I am also like, and we are not like sitting apart and just not doing anything.
Hmm.
One of the greatest engagement techniques as well, by the way,
Oh,
which I've
that's
learned
that's
from Tampa.
amazing. And I think,
I established it.
yeah,
There are
that's a
five,
very good
six things.
approach.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I have five, six things which I tell them already. And a
Hmm.
second thing is like, please, if the question can be answered, there's any question which can be answered within 2 minutes,
Hmm.
ask me now. Just raise your hand, ask the question. If there's a question which can be answered, let's say if that is a greater part or maybe a longer part of question, raise your hand, still ask the question,
Hmm.
and I will answer by the end of the training session. Fourth
Amazing.
thing is which I establish, and it's a rule most of the
Hmm.
time which I
Hmm.
establish is that you like, let's suppose I go and I do the ice breaking, I talk to
Hmm.
people, I like, okay, what is happening, what's the agenda. I do my own TNA, training need analysis, in the training room, quick TNA.
Hmm.
Even
Hmm.
if I have the data, stat, what they want, this, that, and everything. But I want to know how is the mood now,
Correct.
now as in like in the present, because they might have filled the TNA maybe 5 months back or 5 weeks back, sometimes maybe 5 days back, whatever the
Hmm.
time is. What is the mood now?
Hmm.
So I do my own TNA, all thanks to psychology, CBT, DBT, a lot of these things are there.
Hmm.
And then fourth thing which I always tell them is that please don't see me as an expert of your field, like I said.
Hmm.
Please, please come around and tell me insights about your industry. Whatever
Hmm.
I'm saying, I'm going to get yourself engaged and involved in these things, in the
Correct.
learning. Fifth thing
Amazing.
is, if you have
Hmm.
any issues, let's say if I'm saying something which is going really wrong, because I'm
Hmm.
also a human, it might be
Hmm.
possible that maybe the flow, you are feeling disrespectful some way,
Hmm.
some here, there, and everywhere. If you're comfortable, raise hand, say I need to talk to you 2 minutes for 2 minutes. Let's go outside of the room, resolve it.
Hmm.
By the end of this section of my training, I always make the micro modules only 15
Hmm.
minutes max, like this only. And
Hmm.
if there's
Interesting.
something which is
Hmm.
really, really, penetrating them so hard that they cannot sit over there, Although this
mm,
not has happened, maybe, touch wood till now in my life,
mm,
no matter I'm in the corporate room or social impact room, but if this is really penetrating, raise
mm,
your hand and say, ma'am, I
mm,
don't resonate with this. I feel that you are doing wrong.
mm,
And this is why I feel that you're doing wrong. I'm open to feedback then and there. There's no
mm.
dignity being harmed over there. But
Correct.
yeah, the communication should be in a respectful manner.
Yeah.
So these
Mm,
are a few rules which I established, and then there are a lot of other things which I establish with my trainees when I'm getting with the training room, and that makes me an equivalent to them in the corporate
mm,
or in the social impact. They're very open. The kind of
mm.
insight, the kind of stories which I hear, Maria, they're amazing. So that's why I again coming back to from where we started on this discussion is that
Correct.
a lot of people in corporate who come and tell me that okay, you are our
Mm,
mentor, lot of students they come and tell me that ma'am, if nothing will happen, we'll come to you. I know that you will solve this for me.
yes.
Even if like in morning only, in today morning only, what happened that I woke up, I opened there's this, I think so, a very long two message from a student from an university. I took the campus to corporate training session 2 years back.
Mm,
Back then, they might be maybe in the first year of MBA. Now, I think so, they're already working somewhere. But they're
mm,
like, ma'am, it is not working, it is not working, it is not working. In the entire message, the message is that, please help me, please help me, please help me. And I know you're the only person who can do this. Please help me. I really want to come and work maybe with you for some time because clearly this is not helping. This is not
mm,
working for me.
mm,
And Maria, it's not something to boast around or flex around. It's a
mm,
kind of responsibility. It's a kind of, it's a kind of privilege also to have certain time
mm,
because you know that you're impacting a lot of people's life.
mm,
Social impact cannot be just done with a degree. It
mm,
can be done in whomsoever you are. For example, if someone says, I'm a data scientist, then
mm,
also they can do some social impact by mentoring a few people here and there
mm.
or maybe sharing their insights and perspective on the LinkedIn as well, if they have any good insights for sure. That is also part of
Interesting.
social impact because
That's quite
people are
interesting.
always good.
Mm,
Good to hear good perspectives out there. So I have
mm,
been very lucky, very privileged, all thanks to my participants and trainees and various platforms I've been working for. For example, one very good platform I've been working with is HerKey. There,
mm,
most of the
mm,
people, most of the ladies who have the career gap, Maria, they come
mm,
back. Career gap can be because of the health, voluntary, involuntary, and then at the same time, sometime because of the maternal kind of thing. Sometime because family was not supporting. A lot of things are there. When I'm taking my session over there, my persona is completely different.
correct.
I am a different trainer altogether because there I
Mm,
have to be a coach first, a
mm,
mindset coach first, then become a trainer
mm.
because they're already in so many self doubts. You cannot expect them to come and do something. So
Yeah.
कहते हैं ना कि जैसे कभी भी कोई पौधा लगाने से पहले भी मिट्टी तैयार करनी पड़ती है.
Yes.
So
Indeed.
training is also something like that. You have to prepare the soil so that the
Mm,
learning transfer happens effectively. I work with UNICEF. You are there. I'm like talking about mostly the youth people and how
mm,
workforce preparedness skills can be inculcated. Industries can be in sync. A lot of people
mm,
come to me and complain about Gen Zs are very impossible generation. They are very difficult to work with. A lot of these things come. And
mm,
I think so. It's a privilege to be born in 1997. It's a borderline Gen Z year. I have both the perspective. So all the conversations which we are mitigating through our efforts in UNICEF UWA as well. Be it Utopia. Utopia is a very like first of its kind, private, public, and social organization kind of collaboration partnership,
mm,
where we come on a platform and talk what is missing, what is the gap, and how we can resolve it in order to
mm.
make workplaces better for people, right? So
Interesting.
that is there. There is a program in UNICEF for which I am like very enthusiastic to work about it, which is Passport to Earning. Now, this is a kind of
Passport to earning.
learning
Okay.
management system where we have put
Mm,
a lot of resources, free resources, which any
mm,
person from maybe a rural India also, कोई गांव का बच्चा भी, it's a mobile first kind of platform. You
mm,
don't need a laptop to do those certification courses. And the courses are AI, entrepreneurship, financial literacy, right? All of these
mm,
courses are available for free for those people. Anyone who is
mm,
watching this, please get in touch with me if you want to collaborate with us for these kind of efforts, if you're really into social impact. Because, it one thing which I learned in 2015 when I started my social impact journey was that
mm,
you don't have to change the world. You don't have to like say,
Mm.
ki, okay, I have impacted 1,000 people. One person
Mm.
is enough. If you are
Right.
able to create something good for them, impact is also a big
Right.
word. Something good,
Mm.
some good experience for them, good memories, good
Mm.
experience. So that is also there. In UNICEF, there is another initiative which is called Youth Hub. Now, Youth Hub
Youth.
means
Okay.
it's a kind of
If you can
aggregator
spell it.
platform. Yeah, Youth, Youth, Youth,
Mm.
Hub.
A youth
So
hub.
it's
Okay. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a like public
Mm.
platform only. So it what we are trying to solve over there is a lot of aggregators are there for jobs, right? Naukri.com, Shine.com,
Mm.
Indeed, then a lot of other are there. So what we are trying to create it, all the kind of these platform, job giving platforms on one platform only for the youth. And most likely we are trying to create the local environment also, local
Mm.
employment also, because a lot of time it's not easier for the people, and especially female from rural India, to walk out of their home, migrate
Yeah.
out of their home. So until unless they're getting the opportunities in the local
Mm.
scenario within like 30-50 kilometers of where they're staying, it is very difficult to solve India's unemployment crisis,
Mm.
right? So we know this, so that is also there. Skilling is also there, and volunteering opportunities is also there on the youth hub. So we are
Wow.
creating that. There are a lot of initiatives we are doing on the mental health part as well,
Mm.
among like UNICEF, YuWaah only. We are also
Mm.
like creating a lot of conversation, a lot of mitigation when we are talking about the policy level mitigation as well. What kind of internships does the people of India need? Any age group. I'm not talking about the youth over here. What kind of
Mm.
fellowship they need? What kind of workplace environment they need? Why people are not understanding, why is the intergenerational dialogue is not happening? What are my lived experiences, means my life experiences, which can help people understand a little bit better. When we are going
Mm.
to rural area, parents become very important stakeholder, right?
Yeah. Very true.
If let's say I say, okay, let your kid volunteer, they'll be like, पैसा तो दे नहीं रहे हो, क्या volunteer?
Mm.
It's a hard reality. And
Mm.
not even in the rural India, in the tier one India also a lot of
Yeah.
time. But you need to understand, until unless you volunteer, आप नहीं समझ पाओगे उस कॉज को कि आप क्यों
Mm.
करना चाहते हो.
Correct.
So a lot of people from UNICEF UA's initiative, and what I'm taking from UNICEF to the rural India using MeHAN L&D's bridge. That
Mm.
is also giving me a lot of people who say, no, no, ma'am, you are my mentor. You need to please be with me. आपको अब हम आपके पास आ जाएंगे कुछ हो जाएगा तो,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
And I think that is how you mentioned earlier that respect is something that you have to earn. And
Yeah,
I
you
think
have
by
to
doing
earn.
all of this thing, you're actually earning respect of people, their family members also saying that because I've seen the role a coach, a trainer can actually play, a teacher can actually play in someone's life. 10 years, 15 years later, also, when a child actually gets into a college or possibly a job, their parents, their friends, they'll remember, hey, you know what? Because of that teacher, certain things we learn. Because of that trainer, because of XYZ, that coach, it is where we are today. And I have seen that firsthand. My wife is actually a principal of one of the school here in Ahmedabad. So, when she comes in and, she is looking at what's happening in the school in terms of the impact that's creating, she keeps talking about all these small things. But I'm like, wow. And it's like, as a teacher, so much of impact because 15
Absolutely.
years later, that student is in school, college, right? Or possibly working. They're like, because of that,
Yeah.
I
I
have
would like to
become so
share
disciplined because of that. Yeah.
I would like to share a like small narrative of a person
Yes, yes, please.
coming. This is actually coming to me when I'm listening to you and your
Mm.
wife's experiences with the school. Okay. So I was taking a training session on menstrual hygiene management.
Mm.
Very difficult subject to talk about when you're doing in the community level.
Mm.
क्योंकि आपको पता है वहां पे क्या होता है ना कि आपके जो एक सर्टेन कम्युनिटी, एक सर्टेन फ्रैक्शन ऑफ पीपल, आई एम नॉट सेइंग
Mm.
मेल फीमेल, नो, अ फ्रैक्शन ऑफ पीपल दे थिंक दैट आप उनके बच्चों को बदतमीज बना रहे हैं. एंड आई एम
Yeah.
यूजिंग हिंदी ताकि आप उस एसेंस को समझ पाए कि
Yeah, yeah,
आप बदतमीज बना रहे हैं उनके बच्चों को. ये सब बातें खुल के बोलने की थोड़े ना होती हैं.
yeah.
और ये
There's
क्या
still a
है?
little taboo, right? Talking about
Little,
things
no,
like
no, no.
this.
It's a
Yeah,
lot of taboo, by the way.
yeah.
What I have realized
Especially
it
in
in the
the rural side, there's a lot of taboo
in the
there.
corporate India, it doesn't come directly. It
Mm.
comes in a very soft format.
Mm.
But when you're talking about, let's say, in the rural area, it comes directly to you. वो सीधे आके
Mm.
आपके मुंह पे बोल देंगे, ये सब बदतमीजी मत करो. But in
Mm.
corporate India, a lot of times, it will be a little bit more polished approach. that,
Mm.
if your mood is not doing well, are you maybe on those time of month? What is those time of month? Just
Mm.
say,
That time
say
of
the
the month. Yeah,
word.
yeah, yeah. Mm.
So yeah, that is it. But again, coming back to our narrative over there. So in Delhi, there is a place called Azadpur.
Mm.
Okay, and then there are a lot of communities, social impact places are there. So I went, I think so 3.5 years back, I went there, and there was this workshop happening which I had to take care of on menstrual
Mm.
hygiene management only. Now there was this girl, and I still
Mm.
remember her, like she was like, or maybe somewhere around 16, 17, very young girl.
Mm.
So mostly when I meet young people, I'm very happy to ask like what do they think about India, and how they are going to contribute wherever they are. Like I said, contribution is never
Mm.
small or big. It's like whatever you want to do. Even if a person, a lot of
Mm.
people have this thing that शादी हो गई है तो contribute नहीं कर सकते. So I don't believe in this.
Yeah.
I that also is there. Like okay, what will you do then? After that, what is your
Mm.
perspective? So she came to me after the training session. She was like, मैम आपको पता नहीं है, यहाँ पे ना आप आए थे ना तो सब लोग को मिल के कोशिश यही कर रहे थे कि आपको डांटेंगे और मार के भगा देंगे.
Oh my God.
राइट. सो मैंने कहा तो फिर अभी तो मेरे को कुछ नहीं हुआ, क्यों? नहीं नहीं मैम, वही तो मैं भी मैं यही तो आपसे जानना चाह रही हूँ ना कि आपने क्या
Mm.
जादू किया कि किसी ने आपको कुछ कहा ही नहीं. एंड लाइक वेरी लाइक सीरियसली शी वाज आस्किंग वन ऑन वन.
Mm.
तो आई सेड नो नो, आई हैव नॉट डन एनीथिंग लाइक दैट. आई थिंक सो मैंने बस बातें करी और लोगों को शायद वो अच्छी लगी, समझ आई.
Mm.
शायद मैंने थोड़ा उनके रीजनल लेवल पे बातें करी. थोड़ा
Mm.
कभी-कभी ना यूपी का होना बहुत ही अच्छा भी हो जाता है बिकॉज़ मुझे वहाँ की अवधी
Mm.
भाषा भी आती है. एंड
Mm.
फॉर्चुनेटली अनफॉर्चुनेटली आई मीट अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल फ्रॉम विलेजेस ऑफ यूपी एंड बिहार
Mm.
हियर. तो मैं जब उनको अवधी भाषा में कोई चीज़ मैं तुरंत ऐसे जब स्विच करके समझाने लग जाती हूँ कि अच्छा समझ में आवा कि नहीं आवा? They get so amazed, इतनी बड़ी ट्रेनर आई और ऐसे हमारी भाषा में बात कर रही है. सो आई सेड मे बी दैट रियली वर्क. मे बी
Yeah.
मैंने ये ध्यान रखा कि कितना वो कंफर्टेबल है किस चीज के बारे में बात करने में ना. हमारे यहाँ
Mm.
जैसे कई बार होता है कि अब किसी को काका काका नहीं आता और आप उसको ऐसे लिखने को बोल दो, तो ऐसे कैसे
Mm.
चलेगा? आपको काका काका पहले बताना पड़ेगा ना उसको. तो मैंने कहा
Mm.
शायद वो वर्क करा होगा, मे बी अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स माइट बी देयर. तो ये वर्क करा होगा. सेकंड क्वेश्चन द गर्ल वाज
Mm.
आस्किंग टू मी, मैम आपके जैसे कैसे बनना है?
Mm.
Now this question is a question, Maria, which always like takes me to the roots and
Mm.
how I actually came and became what and who I am right now, and what is the journey ahead as well. But yeah, I told her कि आपको इंटरेस्ट है, मतलब क्या करने में
Mm.
इंटरेस्ट है, कौन सा पार्ट जो है आपने पूरे दिन में देखा जो आपको बहुत मजा आया. तो लेकिन नहीं मैम, जब आप कुछ बोल रहे थे ना तो सब लोग ऐसे रिस्पेक्ट में हाँ 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 करके हाँ मैडम जी कर रहे थे, बस वो अच्छा लगा. मैंने कहा जो मैंने बोला वो बहुत ही ऑनेस्टली से बोला, मैम वो तो बोरिंग काम है, देखिए इतना 2 घंटे बोलना पड़ेगा, ये लोग सुनते भी नहीं है ढंग से, मेरे को ये तो बोरिंग काम है. द थिंग इज आई वांट टू अर्न दैट हाँ जी मैडम समहाउ. तो ऐसे कि नहीं नहीं वो वाला काम नहीं करना है, अगर वो नहीं करोगे तो मेरे जैसा बनना तो मुश्किल है, ये वाला काम
Mm.
उसके ही बदले में आता है. फिर वो
Yeah.
बहुत सोच में पड़ गई. फिर बोलते हैं अच्छा आपको आप अगर आपकी जॉब करनी है उस जॉब को क्या कहते हैं? तो मैंने
Mm.
कहा ट्रेनर कहते हैं.
Mm.
तो लाइक ट्रेनर को हिंदी में क्या कहते हैं? मैंने कहा प्रशिक्षक कहते हैं. मैं अगर आप प्रशिक्षिका भी कह सकती हैं, अगर वो थोड़ा आपको जेंडर वाला रखना है तो आप प्रशिक्षिका
Mm.
बन सकती हैं. बोले कि क्या
Mm.
पढ़ना पड़ता है उसके लिए?
Mm.
तो मैंने उनको बोला कि जो भी आप पढ़ो, एक स्किल सेट को आपको बहुत अच्छे से समझना पड़ेगा और खुद कितना आता है उससे ज़्यादा समझाना सीखना पड़ेगा. तो थोड़ा
Yeah.
मनोविज्ञान तो सीखना पड़ेगा आपको. फिर वो कहती है
Mm.
अच्छा, कितना टाइम लगेगा मुझे? मैंने कहा ट्रेनर बनने के लिए तो पूरी लाइफ कम है, बट
Pure life now.
यू कैन
Absolutely.
स्टार्ट व्हेनेवर यू फील लाइक अभी आप
Mm.
छोटे-छोटे ग्रुप्स में आप हमें हेल्प कर सकती हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल मैंने ये बता दिया, अब आप
Mm.
15 दिन बाद, 16 दिन बाद कोशिश कर सकती हैं 4-5 महिलाओं को साथ में बैठाकर, जो मैंने बताया उसी उन्हीं चीज़ों को आप मे बी रिपीट कर सकती हैं. आप चाहें तो मैं इन 15 दिन में आपको तैयार भी कर सकती हूँ कि भई क्या-क्या मुद्दे पर बात करनी है, कैसे-कैसे बात करनी है, किन-किन चीज़ों का ध्यान रखना है. तो थोड़ा मे बी हम आपको ऐसे ट्रेन भी कर सकते हैं, आपको प्रशिक्षण दे सकते हैं. एंड
Mm.
मारिया आई दैट कन्वर्सेशन एंडेड एंड आई थॉट कि ठीक है, ऐसे बहुत सारे लोग पूछते हैं. शी अगेन केम. 15 दिन के
Mm.
बाद शी मैसेज्ड मी कि मैम मैंने
Mm.
अपनी तरफ से यूट्यूब पे बहुत कुछ पढ़ लिया है, अब मुझे पता है, आप मुझे प्लीज़ 15 मिनट का टाइम दो, मैं आपको बताना चाहती हूँ कि मैं अपने यहाँ क्षेत्र की महिलाओं को क्या बोलूँगी.
Mm.
वाज़ अमेज़्ड. आई वाज़ लाइक ओके, लेट्स कम. वो एक गूगल मीट पे आए पहले तो, नेटवर्क नहीं चल रहा, फिर
Mm.
कॉल पे शी लाइक नमस्ते बहनों और भाइयों, मतलब व्हाटएवर आई सेड शी बाय हार्ट read and I think so somehow remembered most of the script, and then everything was very similar. It was like what I am saying to them.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I was like, okay, when you are willing to learn this much, let me train for becoming
Hmm.
that. But now, at this moment, the girl is doing MSW from IGNU
Hmm.
because social work में ही उनको बाद में समझ में आया कि जाना है मुझे. So now she is doing a master's in social work from IGNU. We are very
Hmm.
proud to say that, okay, we are helping her with whatsoever things possible from Mehan's perspective. And at the same time, she's an integral part when we are designing anything for social impact. एक बार हम उनको
Hmm.
कॉल करके जरूर पूछ लेते हैं कि आपको क्या लग रहा है इसमें ठीक रहेगा, क्योंकि नहीं
Wow.
अब तो काफी उन्होंने एक्सप्लोर भी कर लिया है और अब
Hmm.
तो वो काफी अच्छे सजेशंस भी दे देती हैं. जैसे जब हम कुशीनगर में हम एक प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे थे डिजिटल प्रोडक्टिविटी विद एआई का, हम गांव गांव गए
Hmm.
अभी जुलाई में,
Hmm.
और हमने टीचर्स को ट्रेन करना था पर वहां बच्चे भी इन्वॉल्व हो ही गए. और क्योंकि P2E का करिकुलम जो पासपोर्ट टू अर्निंग यूनिसेफ का करिकुलम है हम यही फॉलो कर रहे थे, तो इट
Hmm.
वाज इजियर फॉर अस टू डिसिमिनेट द नॉलेज एज वेल. तो उस टाइम पे उस लड़की ने
Hmm.
मुझे एक चीज बोली कि मैम आप गांव में जा रहे हो ना, मैंने कहा हाँ. तो मुझे कहते
Hmm.
हैं कि मैम मैंने आपको देखा है आप सूट भी पहन के बहुत प्रिटी लगते हो, और
Hmm.
आप मतलब ऐसे वेस्टर्न पहन के भी बहुत प्रिटी लगते हो, साड़ी पहन के भी बहुत प्रिटी लगते हो, लेकिन बस मेरी इतनी सी है ना, आप ना सूट पहन कर जाना वहां जाना तो.
Hmm.
बिकॉज उनको शायद ये आइडिया नहीं है दैट आई हैव लिव्ड माय लाइफ इन द रूरल साइड ऑफ यूपी एज वेल.
Hmm.
बट उन्होंने एक सजेशन मुझे ये बड़ा सोच समझ के दिया कि मैम बाकी तो
Hmm.
सब ठीक लग रहा है पर आप ना सूट पहन कर जाना. मैंने कहा
Hmm.
क्यों सूट पहन के क्यों जाऊं, मतलब ऐसे ही जस्ट टू डेलिब्रेट विद हर, क्यों सूट पहन के क्यों जाऊं, मैं तो कोट पहन के जाऊंगी मेरी मर्जी,
Hmm.
ऐसे थोड़ा ना होता है. शी सेड नहीं मैम, बात वो नहीं है, बात ये कि आप सुंदर तो भी लगोगे ना,
Hmm.
लेकिन वो ना आपसे बात नहीं करेंगे.
Hmm.
और वो अगर आपसे बात नहीं करेंगे तो वो सब पढ़ेंगे कैसे. अब मान लो आप हमारे यहाँ सूट पहन के आए तो हम लोग को लगा कि हमारे जैसी कोई है तो मैंने आपसे पूछ लिया. अब आप एकदम
Hmm.
फॉर्मल फॉर्मल सूट पहन के आए होते तो मैं बिल्कुल ही नहीं पूछ पाती आपसे वो
Correct.
अपना वेस्ट कोड एंड कोट एंड एवरीथिंग.
Hmm.
तो मैंने उनको बोला कि एनीवे आई डू फॉलो दिस रूल बट थैंक यू सो मच फॉर reminding me that I have to pack my
Hmm.
suits, my
Hmm.
kurta and salwar and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And every time I'm like putting picture on the status, like every time she'll be like, "Yes, good mom, yay!" So, this entire thing is very beautiful, Maria. To sometimes see how a person is growing, and I know
Hmm.
for sure the girl is going to do something really extraordinary into the social impact. And
Oh,
for
no
that,
doubt about it.
and for that, I'm not saying that Mihan will help her, or maybe
Hmm.
let's say UNICEF will help her. Platform can be any platform. Maybe she'll, and right now I'm seeing that she's being very entrepreneurial also.
Hmm.
She's like मैं अपना एनजीओ बनाऊंगी.
Hmm.
Whatever you do. I call her दीदी, मतलब ऐसे ही मजाक
Hmm.
मजाक में. Now I know her from like 3 4 years. And like दीदी जो आपको करना है कर लो. लेकिन नहीं मैम दीदी मत बोला करो, देखो मेरे को दीदी मत बोला करो. But it's such an important thing to see how you being there for someone. And
Yeah.
not only when the training was happening. After the training, the
Hmm.
mentorship and the coaching can
Hmm.
transform a person's life also.
Very true. Very true. In fact, I totally agree because I've worked as a coach, right? For the last 5 years, I've been working as a coach. So interestingly, I got into learning and development, but as a coach in my
Very
previous
nice.
organization. So not as a trainer. I mean, I love training. People said कि भाई training तो अच्छा करते हो, so you should join learning and development. And I told you my stupid reason for joining
Yeah.
the training fraternity. I had like इससे better training करूँगा. So I got there. I realized it's not easy. But then I was actually hired as a coach. And
Hmm.
while I was working as a coach, the same Dunning-Kruger effect, and I was like, dude, coaching is like more like learning a lot. And while I was learning, there are still people who will reach out to me saying that we are stuck here, we want to switch job, we don't know what's happening in our life, our finances are not good, can you please get on a call with us, help us, guide us, things like that. And
Yes.
पैसा जितना भी कमाया ना, इट्स ओके, इट्स लाइक इट्स अ गुड थिंग, यू हैव टू टेक केयर ऑफ योर फैमिली एंड थिंग्स, लेकिन
Of
ये
course.
जो आपने एक रिस्पेक्ट गेन की है, थिंग्स दैट यू हैव, लाइक ओके समवन लुक्स अप टू यू, आई थिंक दैट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड ब्यूटीफुल फीलिंग. एंड obviously
Absolutely.
you are working with UNICEF, you have your own venture, so you are doing this. एक interesting question, ठीक है.
Okay.
I remember the first time we spoke, you said the the skill gap that India has right now, and government is also taking a lot of initiative to bridge that gap. So starting a venture into this space is a very, very lucrative business. Obviously,
Absolutely.
a lot of people are coming here only for money without
Of
realizing
course.
कि भाई ये actually it's a very important responsibility. But someone who's possibly looking to get into training or
Hmm.
possibly want to get associated with you, थोड़ा सा बैक स्टोरी बताए. मेहान, I know you have told me, but for the viewers, what is the meaning of मेहान? Why did you even come up with that name? किसका
Hmm.
आइडिया था, किसका सजेशन था? what MeHAN does, what are the different programs that you offer, uh, you know, and चल इतना बात करते हैं, then possibly also if someone wants to look at कि भाई हमको भी वो aspect में करना है कुछ, what are the different schemes from the government. But let's start about MeHAN. नाम
Okay.
कहाँ से आया?
नाम नाम देखिए, I'll tell you something. I'll first of all take you to the journey, like how exactly the idea of doing such business, which is catering across corporate social impact,
Hmm.
students, and individual trainers and trainers too for developing their skill, came
Hmm.
into the picture.
Hmm.
And then I'll come to the name of the story of the name as well, and then
चलिए,
I'll tell you
fair
what
enough.
exactly we are doing and how we are doing it.
Hmm.
So I think so now when I look at it, Maria, the idea of starting something, it was very early in my life. When I was in class sixth,
Hmm.
then it came into the picture. So I read in NCRT class six,
Hmm.
human is also a resource. I got really like, what? They were to saying water is a resource, mountain is a resource, patti is a resource, khana is a
Hmm.
resource. What is this? Human is also a resource. I got really like surprised.
Hmm.
Like what? Now this question stuck with me.
Hmm.
And I think so a lot of my life principles are governed with a lot of reading, not only
Hmm.
the serious books, but and I would like to thank my mom for that, that she was very keen that I should know Hindi. मुझे हिंदी
Hmm.
बहुत अच्छी आनी चाहिए. थोड़ा सा और पीछे अगर जाएंगे तो मतलब व्हेन आई वाज इन क्लास फर्स्ट आई यूज्ड, मतलब मुझे अच्छे से हिंदी पढ़नी आती थी. तो आई
Hmm.
यूज्ड टू रीड अ लॉट ऑफ चंपक, नंदन, बालहंस,
Hmm.
चंदा मामा, and that gave me the ethical and moral values. I think so I
Hmm.
designated all of these things to them. So there's a book called चंदा मामा. वहां पे तो काफी ही ज्यादा मतलब एकदम वैदिक एंड पुराणिक काइंड ऑफ कहानियां होती थी, तो आई यूज्ड टू रीड
Hmm.
ऑल ऑफ. पर अब जब सिक्स क्लास में ये पढ़ा तो आई स्टार्टेड टू लुक फॉर द आंसर कि
Hmm.
ह्यूमन रिसोर्स कैसे है. मतलब पहाड़ का समझ आता है, पत्थर दे रहा है, नदी
Hmm.
का समझ आता है, पानी आ रहा है, खाने का समझ आ रहा है, ह्यूमन रिसोर्स कैसे बन गया. एंड इट टुक मी लाइक व्हाट 3 more years टू अंडरस्टैंड कि कैसे लगा. तो क्लास नाइन्थ में इकोनॉमिक्स
Hmm.
की एनसीईआरटी में फिर उन्होंने बताया कि ह्यूमन रिसोर्स तो है,
Hmm.
लेकिन वो तभी एक कंट्री के
अच्छा.
लिए रिसोर्स है जब वो ह्यूमन
Hmm.
कैपिटल बन जाए.
Yeah.
और ह्यूमन कैपिटल बनने के लिए उसको कुछ स्किल सीखनी पड़ेगी, नेशन में
Hmm.
कुछ कंट्रीब्यूट करना पड़ेगा, चाहे वो जॉब
Hmm.
करके करे, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप करके करे, एग्रीकल्चर करके करे, कुछ भी करे, लेकिन एक स्किल जरूरी है. आई
Hmm.
रिमेम्बर माई टीचर टेलिंग, मैंने पूछा उनसे कि अभी तो बोल रहे थे ह्यूमन रिसोर्स है, अब कह रहे हो ह्यूमन कैपिटल है, व्हाट इज हैपनिंग. पहले कहा कि पहाड़ भी रिसोर्स है और ह्यूमन भी रिसोर्स है, नाउ यू आर सेइंग पैसा भी कैपिटल है और ह्यूमन भी कैपिटल है.
Hmm.
व्हाट इज दिस? सो माई टीचर टोल्ड कि वो तब होता है जब स्किल आती है.
Hmm.
कोई भी स्किल जब आप कर रहे होते हो, एंड आई एम वेरी लाइक ग्रेटफुल, लाइक आई सेड मेरे उस्ताद जी बहुत सारे हैं, गुरु जी बहुत सारे
Hmm.
हैं. आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर माय टीचर टेलिंग कि देखो जब कोई काम बहुत अच्छा सीख लोगे ना और वही करोगे, मान लो कोई डॉक्टर है, उसका स्किल है वो डॉक्टर बनना, तो वो कैपिटल जनरेट करेगा कंट्री के लिए. ये
Hmm.
बढ़िया पर्सपेक्टिव दिया. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ चेजिंग दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग इन क्लास ट्वेल्थ आई डिसाइडेड दैट आई विल गो टू यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ दिल्ली.
Hmm.
मतलब कुछ भी ही हो जाए, बहुत सारी पढ़ाई करनी है, बहुत अच्छे नंबर लेकर आने हैं और दिल्ली जाना है. एंड मैं
Hmm.
जिस एरिया से बिलोंग करती हूँ वो एक रूरल टाउन एरिया है. तो मतलब
Hmm.
वहां पे अब मतलब इनफैक्ट 4-5 साल पहले तक भी देयर वाज नो वन हु केम टू यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ दिल्ली फॉर स्टडीज बाय द वे. एंड
Hmm.
फीमेल का तो
Hmm.
आना इज लाइक ऑन अनदर लेवल ऑल टुगेदर.
Hmm.
तो आई डिसाइडेड कि नहीं, क्यों यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ दिल्ली आना है, ये नहीं कि मेरा गुडविल बहुत अच्छा हो जाएगा, वो तो
Hmm.
कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. आई गॉट एडमिटेड टू वेरियस अदर यूनिवर्सिटीज एज वेल. पढ़ने में भगवान की दया से प्रवीण बच्चे रहे हम. लेकिन मुझे चाहिए डाइवर्सिटी. बस लाइक अगर ह्यूमन कैपिटल को समझना है तो डाइवर्सिटी जाननी पड़ेगी.
Hmm.
दिल्ली जो है वो देश का कैपिटल है. इन क्लास ट्वेल्थ आई एम लाइक थिंकिंग लाइक दिस, आई एम टेलिंग यू दिस. अब मुझे नहीं पता, मुझे दिल्ली ही जाना है, बिकॉज मुझे मिलना है दुनिया के सभी लोगों से, अलग अलग तरीके के कल्चर से मुझे मिलना है. एंड थोड़ा वो कॉमिक्स भी होता है ना, वो आपको जैसे चंदा मामा में सदर्न इंडिया की बहुत सारी स्टोरीज होती थी, बहुत सारी स्टोरीज होती थी. तो मतलब कि
Yeah.
अच्छा विदर्भ में ये हो रहा है, तमिलनाडु
Hmm.
में ये हो रहा है, मुझे लेकिन मिलना है ना, मैं कैसे मानूं कि ये होता है, मुझे तो तमिलनाडु के किसी
Hmm.
इंसान से पूछना है. तो दैट्स व्हाई आई केम टू यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ दिल्ली. इट इज अ डिफरेंट
Hmm.
जर्नी ऑल टुगेदर. सम अदर डे सम अदर टॉपिक, वी विल टेक केयर ऑफ दैट
Yeah.
एज वेल.
Yeah. We have the entire series, no?
But yeah, in Delhi University when I came, then I got like, oh my God. Jैसे in Bangla people will say, oh my go. Because here I saw that people are not good at just with study. They
Hmm.
are good with एवरीथिंग। कोई बहुत अच्छा म्यूजिक कर रहा है, कोई बहुत अच्छा डांस कर रहा है, कोई बहुत अच्छा ये कर रहा है, वो कर रहा है, एंड एवरीवन इज लाइक क्रिएटिंग सम इम्पैक्ट. I'm from
Hmm.
Motilal Nehru College. In our college there are a lot of societies,
Hmm.
like cultural societies, and everyone is doing so good. I say यार ये तो बहुत important, ऐसे ह्यूमन कैपिटल बनता होगा.
Correct.
फिर in second year of my college, I contested the election and won the election of Delhi University Student Union in my college, and I was a central counselor of my college.
Hmm.
फिर मुझे थोड़ा और समझ में आया कि
Hmm.
इतनी कंप्लेन करने से कोई फायदा नहीं है, कि ये नहीं हो रहा है,
Hmm.
पुल नहीं बन रहा है, रोड नहीं बन रही है. यू फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हैव टू बी एन अवेयर सिटीजन. पहले तो आप
Hmm.
जाओ, आप पढ़ो, आपका क्या काम है. यू स्टार्ट क्वेश्चनिंग पीपल, पुटिंग
Hmm.
देम इनटू अकाउंटेबिलिटी, देन ओनली थिंग्स विल हैपन.
Hmm.
तो ये मुझे तब समझ में आया. लेकिन बाय द एंड ऑफ माय ग्रेजुएशन मुझे ये समझ में आ गया, बहुत सारी इंटर्नशिप्स कॉर्पोरेट में भी करने के बाद. सोशल इम्पैक्ट तो आई स्टार्टेड प्रॉपर्ली वर्किंग इन 2015 ओनली, बट कॉर्पोरेट में आई डिड अ लॉट ऑफ इंटर्नशिप, सेल्स, मार्केटिंग, एचआर, व्हाटएवर वाज पॉसिबल. तो मुझे ये समझ में आया कि ओह अच्छा, एचआर नाम का जो चीज है ये अपने काम का है, ये करना है.
Hmm.
But I would, and this is very unconventional, Maria, that I was never been able to settle down in just being a corporate HR. What is corporate HR? You
Yeah.
working for human resource with human resource, मतलब
Hmm.
human as a resource, right? तो ये corporate social impact and फलाना ढमकाना कहाँ से आ रहा है? ये जो
Hmm.
bias है, why are we creating it altogether?
Hmm.
So I started working with corporate only, and then I, of course, honed my skill as a HR, this, that. But somewhere in my mind, it was there. I really want to work for an organization who works without having this bifurcation. And
Hmm.
I tried to find this, tried to
Hmm.
find this, find this, find this, find this, a long, long time. Then at the end of the day, I was like, okay, I need to start something now.
Hmm.
नहीं हो पा रहा है ये, बिकॉज either you're too much being into ki ROI, or you're
Hmm.
being too much into ki impact. But it's important that you also also connect impact with certain kind of monetary gain as well, na. See,
Hmm.
I believe this thing, in order to do philanthropy, you have to
Hmm.
have the resources, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Very true. Very true.
फाइनेंशियल, मेंटल, इकोनॉमिकल. आई एम नॉट ऑफ दैट सॉर्ट कि मैं सोशल वर्कर हूँ, मेरा कुछ भी हो जाएगा तो मैं यही करूंगी. हाँ, आई एम रेडी टू टेक द रिस्क, but at the same time
Hmm.
I need to make sure that I have the required resources, can be knowledge, skills, attitude, and money at the same
Hmm.
time.
Hmm.
So in 2021 we started the pilot, by the way.
Hmm.
Pilot
Hmm.
was related to mental health.
Hmm.
Because COVID was like, COVID just got over, and COVID was a very dramatic, kind of pandemic. Why I'm using the word dramatic? Because for a lot of people it was very bad, but for a lot of
Hmm.
people it gave them a chance to sit with them and then think what they want to do.
Hmm.
So we started MeHAN as Mental Health Allies Network. The full form of
Hmm.
MeHAN is this, by the way. And it was like, earlier it was not MeHAN, it was Mental Health Allies Network.
Hmm.
So people were like, and what we used to do is there were like 21 categories of support groups,
Hmm.
21 by the way.
Hmm.
And I found the gap that in psychology also therapy is there, but how to be ready for the therapy. And sometimes you don't want a therapist to come and tell you this has happened, that has happened. For example, I am a
Hmm.
single mother and you are, let's say, single parent as well. We would like to
Hmm.
learn from each other. Social learning, psychology really works nicely, and we'll be like
Hmm.
relating with each other. For that, 21 categories of these groups we started, and we really
Hmm.
like thoroughly experimented. The agenda was very simple: online, offline support groups with 21 causes, like, so like single parenting was there, sexual harassment related issues if someone wants to come and talk to about them is there, and then divorcee category was there, and
Hmm.
then students were there, small kiddos were there, like they are like their own life, कि इतना homework दे रही है टीचर, what is this. पहले पहले ही ठीक था, व्हाट्सएप चलाने में मजा तो आता था, अभी दुखी कर दिया. We have listened all of it, by the way, Maria,
Hmm. Hmm.
all of it. And in every support group there used to be a recognized kind of psychologist as well to moderate.
Hmm.
Moderator was not someone who is like coming from anywhere, because these are
Hmm.
sensitive issues, we understand
Correct.
that.
Correct.
So this used to happen. And then till the time I was like working with some corporates also and some social
Hmm.
impact organization also. Background में ये चल रहा है, Saturdays, Sundays, and at the night this is all happening. Then what happened is later on in 2023 somewhere, we were able to decide and
Hmm.
understand. Now we are ready for skill development, because
Hmm.
we know where the gap lies. Now we
Hmm.
know what people need
Hmm.
because of all of those data and listening to people like that. And then we started with, we were like, अब name क्या change करें, so कुछ छोटा कर दो, तो नहीं, मेहान. MeHAN L&D. Now the thing is, the very first batch of our intern, like, which came at that time. So they were like very young people, and we work out with a lot of young people. In MeHAN, if you want to apply, if you have the skill set, we don't see the qualification, by the way. We are very happy to train you and coach you for that. So one time they came and they're like, ma'am, you know what? We are Mehanti people. I said, what? It's like, no, ma'am, because MeHAN, no, MeHAN, and then if we had TIL, it's Mehantis. So MeHAN became MeHAN from Mental Health Alliance Network. And then MeHAN has a certain meaning. And that was very beautifully. Sometimes destiny is also something. So when we
Yeah.
actually were registering and then we were like, okay, what name to put? Why when we stick around the name itself is Meh means Badal, pouring. Sanskrit Meh means Badal. And An means your dignity, what you want to create, the kind of respectful environment.
Yeah.
So we stick to this name because of meaning like this. MeHAN.
Mm.
MeHAN is,
Wow.
you are creating an experience, learning experience for people. This is like pure as Badal and Barish, but at the same time, it's also giving you dignity. And at the same time, it's giving you that respectful living as well. So that is what MeHAN is about. And that is what the core value is also about. Most of
Absolutely
our
love it.
workforce, most of our workforce are the people who either have had some career gaps, they're not getting employment for long, long, long time. They require some upskilling, they require some polishing. We did that for them. कोई जल्दी नहीं है अगर आप हमारे यहाँ आ रहे हैं if we see that skill is there you want to create certain impact एक इंसान या हजार इंसान that is also good much appreciated at MeHAN if you want to learn something आपको नहीं आता है from the scratch for example there was this intern recently she said to me ma'am मुझे digital media marketing सीखनी है पर मुझे आती नहीं है we are all there because we are a group of trainers no what are we training if we cannot train our internal employees as well
Absolutely.
so we gave them a lot of resources. We help them. We also give them an in MeHAN everything is very experimentation oriented. आपका कुछ मन है, you want to experiment, we'll be very happy, very flexible to let you experiment as well. So a lot of things, like that came from this entire journey. And that's how MeHAN, the word came into the picture. A lot of time I'm going and introducing myself. Okay, I'm from MeHAN. So people will be like, MeHAN, okay, Mahan, okay, Mahan. So like, हाँ, ठीक है, whatever you say, it's like MeHAN. And that's why the E in MeHAN is smaller. Like if you see MEHAN, it's like MeHAN, मैं हूँ. It's like a lot of meanings are there. But what we thought when we stick with the name was बादलों जैसा आपको बारिश जैसा एक प्योरिटी मिलनी चाहिए एंड नर्चरिंग होनी चाहिए एंड यस आपकी खुद की डिग्निटी एंड आपका खुद का एक स्किल डेवलपमेंट ऐसा होना चाहिए जो आपको रिस्पेक्टफुल लिविंग की तरफ लेकर जाए नो मैटर आप किसी भी जगह काम कर रहे हैं और किसी भी एज ग्रुप में है बाय द वे दैट इज ऑल्सो समथिंग विच वी रियली इग्नोर यस
Quite थोड़ा सा off the track question है, but do let me know. ये जो person who came and said कि हम we are मेहनती people. देखिए मेरा मानना है that इस तरह के जो चीज है ना ये जो यंग लोग होते हैं ना लेकिन पीपल हु आर जेंजी और पर्सन ये उनसे ही कमाल के नाम आते हैं यू डोंट गेट समथिंग लाइक
एब्सोल्युटली
दिस फ्रॉम मिलेनियल
I would
नेवर
not have thought about it, by the way. So when they came, at that time we already like formulated the name and everything was done already. It's like out and loud that MeHAN L&D is a learning and development consulting firm, does skill development and skilling session. All of this is there. And then they came and then like after 6, 7 months, they're like, ma'am, you know what? We all are Mehanti people. It's like, okay. And then they changed the name of the group. By the way, if you look at the community which we have, the name of the community is Mehanti only. Our team call itself Mehanti, by the way. And that's the legacy they have left. Now this person is working with a very good
yeah I still love
organization
the
in
name
Big
by the
Four.
way yeah I love
Yeah,
the name by the way मेहनती
Mehanti.
okay चलिए एक simple सा question
जी.
coming your way getting into entrepreneurship journey is not easy. Okay,
Yes.
there's a lot of challenges, and I keep talking about this because recently I also got onto this journey, and to be really honest, thank you, half of the people in India or possibly through the world, they get to a certain point in their employment when they realize, यार खुद का कुछ करना. I don't want to be working under someone else. Too much of pressure and blah blah blah. I really want to do something of my own. I have this passion. I want to follow it. Problem
So,
कहाँ आती है? And I'll be very honest. Problem कहाँ आती है? We are so used to, especially I believe like now with the NAP 2020 and a lot of other things, the education system is also changing. But when we were studying, at least the system was designed in a way that it was preparing you for employment. रिसर्च है आपको, you have like a certain periods रिसर्च मिलेगा, ये होमवर्क है. इट वाज ऑलवेज प्रिपेयरिंग यू टू बी एन एम्प्लॉय. अभी तो जाके इंडिया में स्टार्टअप इंडिया ये सारा कल्चर है ना, इट वाज नॉट बैक देन. सो वी वर ऑलवेज conditioned to become employees. And when we get to a workplace also, we're always thinking from an employee mindset. So
Absolutely.
till someone tells us कि अच्छा शिवानी आपका आज ये काम है और कोई सर पे नहीं बैठेगा, it will not get done. And when you shift to an entrepreneur thing, when you start your own venture, the first challenge that was like, करना क्या है?
Exactly.
Because मुझको पता है what I want, but करना क्या है? There's no one to hold you accountable now, right? So
Absolutely.
initially that becomes a challenge. It happened with me also. For the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
2 weeks, like ठीक है ना, nothing happens, कोई बात नहीं, it's me only. I'll do it tomorrow. And then I had to put my foot down, saying no, this is, I have to be my own boss. Difficult है, challenges है. You getting onto this journey, what are like top 3 possibly lessons that you can just say कि एक दो तीन top 3 lessons that you have had as an entrepreneur, that you possibly people who are watching want to get
Mhm.
into entrepreneur journey themselves, they can learn.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for asking this question, Maria. Very interesting question again. First thing I would like to tell is that entrepreneurship is never about creating the wealth just as wealth.
Hmm.
It's always about creating the solution.
Yeah.
So if you're driven by a vision that, okay, this is what I want to be. For example, for me, like I told in the story as well, that from class six only, it was somewhere around the mind that human as a capital and what exactly
Human
it is.
capital.
Later on,
Hmm.
it became like, okay, I need to bridge the skill gap in order to solve the unemployment crisis. And at the same time, if you'll open the MeHAN's website, that is what it is written over there,
Hmm.
www.mehan.co.in. That is what we are solving.
Hmm.
So as an entrepreneur, your problem and solving how you are solving it, it should be very clear to you. That will not let you derail.
Hmm.
It should be measurable. For me, for
Hmm.
example, my next 1 year is planned on an Excel
Hmm.
sheet. कि ओके एक एक महीने में मैं ये करने वाली हूँ, 2 महीने में मैं ये करने वाली हूँ, 3 महीने में ये करने वाली हूँ, एंड इट इज एक्चुअली प्लान. And then
Hmm.
prioritized every week, by the way. I do it every week. Anyone can do it in like let's say 15 days or 30 days, whenever they have like
Hmm.
understanding her problem ke hisab se bhi. So I
Hmm.
prioritize my task. Okay, let's say I have to give a podcast to Maria. Then I also
Hmm.
have to like talk to 5, 6 people. As an entrepreneur, I
Hmm.
need to upskill myself as well. So all of those things I'll prioritize
Hmm. Hmm.
given what kind of time I have. Third, open
Hmm.
mindset. As an entrepreneur,
Hmm.
forget about being a boss. The moment you
Hmm.
thought that I'm the boss, I I don't want to do a job because I want to be a boss of my own work. I think so you already
Yeah.
left the train. That is
Hmm.
already
Hmm.
sailed. Like that is already on the track and then you left it. The thing is, it's not about being the boss. It's about
Hmm.
co-creating. You cannot be the
Yeah.
boss. What is the boss? Like some
Hmm.
I'm saying something, someone is following my orders. No. Why? You create it.
Hmm.
And that means you need to learn everything as well. After being
Yeah.
an entrepreneur, Maria, I learned how to make website. By the way, the
Nice.
website you see of Mehan has been created by me.
Oh wow,
Truly
amazing.
yours. Yeah. I was never, by the way, I was never a technical person. I'm like a
Hmm.
pre-com, M-com, then psychology, and then
Hmm.
skill development professional.
Hmm.
But yeah, I learned how to develop the website. I learned the designing, graphic
Hmm.
designing properly, digital marketing, social
Hmm.
media marketing,
मैं लिख लेता हूँ एक
business.
मिनट.
Okay,
Okay,
I'll
website.
again,
Yeah, yeah. No,
yeah,
no. You
I
can
learned how
continue.
to create the
Yeah.
websites.
Hmm.
I learned how to do the graphic designing.
Hmm.
I was an instructional designer, but not the graphic designer.
Yeah, yeah.
I learned how to do business development.
Very much important.
Okay. I learned also, how to do the social media marketing, various
Yeah.
kinds of platform, how to
Correct.
scrape out the leads and do this and that. I learned personal branding.
Hmm.
Okay. I learned personal branding. I
And that's,
learned,
by the way, it's going really good. Okay. I see
thank you
your
so
post
much.
and all, and it's going
I'm
really good. Yeah.
flipping my hair already. Huh.
Yeah.
And then
Pat on
I
your back.
also, yeah, like flipping already. I also learned how to create your inventory. So for
Hmm.
us, it's
Hmm.
digital inventory. But for
Hmm.
the businesses who are working in the physical format, it has to be good inventory, good flow of
Hmm.
business. I learned
Hmm.
how to scan the business environment. with
Hmm.
various, project management tools sometimes, change management tools sometimes. There are a lot of these frameworks called
Hmm.
testers, 7S from McKinsey's, and I also like experimented and practiced.
Hmm.
I also learned how to become a better instructional designer per
Hmm.
se,
Hmm.
right? I learned how to become a more, for my field, it's really important. Monitoring and evaluation is very important. I
Yeah.
learned it from the scratch to scratch.
Hmm.
I learned a few things about data science
Hmm.
because we are very research oriented, analytical kind of organization. So,
Yeah.
learning
Yeah.
that is very important. Analysis, data science, and analysis, I'm putting it under one head,
Hmm.
right? And I also learned how to become a better human and better
Yeah.
listener.
Yeah.
That's very important. Better
Right.
listener, being a better listener is very.
Hmm.
I keep on listening to what my team is saying. So there's a thing at Mehanti tribe,
Hmm.
Mehar team, that we don't meet to work. We work within the meetings itself. Our meeting, and
Hmm.
it's not like I have prescribed it for them. No, no, no. They'll keep on going for like 8 hours sometime on the Google Meet, on the Zoom. People are saying
Hmm.
engagement doesn't happen. They're like still like sitting and like cracking some jokes and then working, and then they will not mind me being there, or like sometimes they'll involve me. My co-founder, who is a designer by itself, an instructional designer, so if she has to train internally people to for Canva or any of the designing tools, she will take me as a subject. So a lot of time I'll be in jungles, a lot of time like I'll be in some Doraemon, hugging Doraemon. So yeah, so I learned how to be, I think, so good at sarcasm as well. That was not one of the core I had, but because of the team I learned, yes. So yeah, all of these things. I'm
No,
very
this is
sure lots
beautiful.
is
This is beautiful.
coming across the way.
Oh,
So you asked for three, I gave you so
100%.
many, I think so.
No, 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 a lot, a lot. But no, no, you gave me three pointers that you
Yeah,
you spoke about, and there's a
correct.
lot of learning for sure. Like for me, it's been like very recent. One of the things that obviously this, by the way, for those people who are not sure, if you have been connected with me for a very long time, you know this. So many people in my training have said, "Sir, you should become an RJ." And that point of time, I didn't really want to become an RJ, but then one person and it's a very valid suggestion. She's like, "Sir, if not an RJ, why don't you do a podcast?" And this was 2 years ago, 2023. And I'm like, yeah, maybe I should. And then it was like, should I do it, not do it? I'm not good enough. You have those thing happening to you.
Yes, yes.
Uh, Eventually, it was just this year, like about 8 weeks ago, I said, hey, you know what? I should start. And I reached out to some people I knew for sure. In fact, I can show you maybe later on my LinkedIn. The message I put to some of these people are like, I know you're out of my league, but I'm starting a podcast. Would you please consider,
Mm.
even if you don't want to do this, at least please reply. This was
Mm.
my text to a lot of people,
Amazing, amazing.
and people were like very warm. They actually responded, some of them, and I'm very grateful to all those people who actually agreed to be on the podcast. Through that, I learned a lot. So how to do a podcast, I'm very camera shy, so even talking to a camera, even now it's feeling very weird. So how to talk to the camera, how to talk to people. So the first few episodes, the audio was like way off.
Mm.
It was very echoey. People still loved it. The camera quality was pathetic. Now when I look at it, I laugh at it. But that's the thing. So what I learned is, when you get into this, when you're creating something, your first product is always going to be shitty, and it's perfectly all right. if you're
Absolutely.
if you're waiting for it to become perfect, you are too late. So
Again,
whatever it
your
is.
train has left already the station. You
Yes.
just sit there
Yes.
and relax, chill.
Correct. So whatever it is, for all the viewers also, if you have that sort of desire that you want to start your venture, you want to create something, whether it's a course, whether you want to go do something, don't wait for it to be perfect. Do it now. It will be pathetic. It's perfectly all right. And to be really honest, if you're thinking that, okay, uploading a video on YouTube is going to be awkward, trust me, there's no one who's actually going to watch it. Your own friends, your family will not watch it. So don't worry about it. Just upload, keep doing it, learn from it, get feedback. And as Shivani said, be surrounded by people who share that sort of vision and enthusiasm. That's the most important thing I learned. If you're trying to do everything by yourself, you'll have moments of doubts, and then you are like, hey, maybe I should just go back to what I was doing. Surround yourself with people who are like, like, been there, know the struggle. Something that I would like to share, Shivani, like quite interesting. Couple of years ago, when I used to go to the gym, right? There's this one man, and I used to, like, very well built. And
Hmm.
what I actually saw is and learned,
Yeah,
people who have, look huge. They have been to the gym for, like, years and years. They're like very well sculpted. If you're going to the gym and you are trying to do something, they are not the one who are laughing at you.
absolutely.
It would be people who have tried, but they've given up on gym now.
Absolutely.
It is only those people who have tried and failed. Those are the people who laugh at you. So if you're starting your business, you don't find an Ambani or an Elon Musk laughing at you. In fact, they will
Mhm.
be like appreciating it, that okay, Shivani is starting, good job.
Absolutely.
They'll possibly even give you some advice. But
Absolutely.
people who have tried and failed, hmm,
I'll tell you something, just in the extension of what you said.
yes,
So my journey has been very different from a lot of corporate HRs out there, a lot of social
hmm,
impact personas out there, because I always have been very keen and very against of this bifurcation.
yeah,
I feel if a training methodology has been devised by XYZ philosopher or
hmm,
psychologist or maybe educationalist, why can't the same training can be provided to the participant no matter who they are? If it is a गांव का बच्चा तो इसका मतलब ये थोड़ा ना कि आप उसको कॉल सर की लर्निंग एंड एक्सपीरियंशियल साइकिल नहीं सिखाएंगे या उसके थ्रू नहीं आप उनको
yeah,
जज
yeah,
कर सकते जिसमें वो बोलते हैं कि 4 तरीके के
hmm,
लर्नर होते हैं या अगर लेट्स से कोई कॉर्पोरेट है तो आप उनको जाके नॉर्मली बात करके नहीं कर सकते तो आई हैव been very against this bifurcation from like very starting of my career. And I'm talking about 2015 when I started my college as well. So when I started doing a lot of freelancing project in order to explore as well, and you won't believe I was not active on LinkedIn since 2021, by the way. I left LinkedIn. Although I was a HR, I was a corporate HR, and it was a kind of my bread and butter also. I used to use LinkedIn recruiter of the organization itself, but I was not on LinkedIn. It was only in 2024 that I again like reactivated my LinkedIn. Now you look at the timeline. In those years, 2021 to 2024, I experimented a lot. It's not about the people will laugh at me, never like that. But the thing is, I don't want to be in the situation when people are telling me, no, 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 आपका तो credibility ही नहीं है, आप तो ऐसा कर रहे हो. Lot of time people
yeah,
when
makes
like if you
sense.
go to the HR community and I have faced this, I've been a part. They'll be like you're very young to be a co-founder or maybe founder. Say what? Okay, you start whenever you feel like starting. No one asked Ritesh Agarwal from OYO that why did he start so early. No one asked anyone out there, right? They were like, oh, young entrepreneur, 30 under 30. Okay, very nice. So that was also there. Second thing is they're like you're losing your credibility in the market because आप social impact भी कर रहे हो, आप corporate भी कर रहे हो. So, you know, I have this thing, Maria, and it might sound a little bit true to a lot of people as well. I listen to a lot of people.
Hmm,
Everyone who is coming, I'll be listening for sure. But I'll only listen to people as in from my heart or deeply
yeah,
I'll take the words from them who are either credible enough to give me that
hmm,
kind of information. By credible means, for example, if I have to take a psychology advice, I'll definitely look forward to my therapist to give it to me, no one else. Second, who have experienced the thing and then they're coming either out of failure or success. I'm not just saying successful people, but out of failure, they're telling me some logical thing
yeah,
and not with ये नहीं हो रहा है. They also give me
correct.
some sort of framework to why ये नहीं हो रहा है और क्यों ये नहीं हो रहा है और
Hmm,
कैसे ये होगा.
yeah,
Right? I'm a very logical, very practical kind of person by heart only. मतलब मुझे
hmm,
सिर्फ यही समझ में आता है और कुछ समझ ही नहीं आता है. And third thing, when it is about business, people who are into learning and development fraternity, it's my humble advice to you. Most of the time, people will kill the competition before it will start.
yeah,
So don't
very
get
true,
in that loop.
very true,
If you're
very
asking
true.
for advice, when someone,
Hmm,
let's say if you reached out to someone on LinkedIn, you message that, okay, I'm starting, let's say my own freelancing gig. You need I need to know how to make the portfolio.
hmm,
Just see what they are giving is suitable, resonates with you or not.
yeah,
If it doesn't,
correct.
just say thank you for the time and leave.
Hmm,
Don't think that if a person, for example, if I am a person who has like, let's say 15 years of experience, that
hmm,
doesn't give me the credibility to give, let's say, advice to someone if my heart is not clean.
yeah,
Learn to read people like that. Mani, when I
hmm,
started my freelancing journey with the training and development, I still remember I asked one of the person I knew from like 15 years or something, you
hmm,
know. They came in my school and then, all of these things. I told them how to make portfolio. They're like very big trainer and everything, this, that. The kind of portfolio they gave to me, Maria, and I am very sure they did it deliberately so that होगा ही नहीं कुछ उसके आगे. And I can tell it now. I can attest it now. क्योंकि the kind of portfolio they gave me was not a portfolio at all. It was something else
Mm,
only. And if
mm,
I actually took that advice and started like sharing the similar portfolio, I'm very sure I might have failed.
yeah.
So nowadays, first of all, go do your own research. If you
Mm,
need some advice, talk to 10 people and then find your own voice within those 10 voices, what you want from it. And that's what
very,
I
very
do,
true.
Maria.
Amazing
So I think so.
advice.
This is one advice I would like to give to my fraternity. I love my fraternity, by the way, people, all the trainers, all the coaches out there. I love you all. Not because you are and at Mehan also we feel that we are not living in a dependent world or independent world. We live in interdependent world. So
Yeah.
हमारे लिए our competitors are our stakeholders, by the way, Maya. So
Yes.
whenever we are
Yes.
devising something, we feel that okay, if they are our competitors, what kind of benefit they are also going to get if we are creating such environment or into
Mm,
training and development. हमारी इंडस्ट्री में बहुत प्रॉब्लम्स भी हैं.
yeah.
अच्छी पे स्केल, एक स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड स्किल सेट का ना होना, क्लाइंट्स का रिटेंशन ना होना, चीटिंग होना, इट्स वेरी कॉमन इन आवर फील्ड. सो इफ वी आर
We
नॉट
can go
स्टैंडिंग
on
विद
and
ईच
on
अदर,
about it, right? Yeah, yeah. We
या,
should we
सो
should
वी हैव
talk
टू
about
स्टैंड
it,
विद ईच अदर.
but maybe like a LinkedIn live with just the trainers, where they come and share up, because I keep seeing a lot of, I'm part of one of the WhatsApp group, two of the WhatsApp groups, where it's
ओके.
just filled with trainers. And
हाँ.
some of these trainers are like, "Arre, this XYZ company, they didn't pay, it's been like 2 months, 3 months, 4 months possibly, and
Actually,
they are just stuck." And then whenever there's a requirement, everyone is like, I'm a trainer. It reminds
exactly.
me of that, very funny thing. What was that movie with Shahid Kapoor and Rajpal Yadav?
Okay.
Chup Chup Ke, I think, or
Okay.
something of that sort. You have seen that?
No.
राजपाल यादव से कि ये कौन करेगा, मैं करूंगा.
अच्छा. Okay.
Everything is
No,
like
I've
मैं
not seen
करूंगा.
it,
This,
but sounds very funny. I'll see that.
oh, it is very
I'll
funny.
watch
I'll send
that.
you. I'll put it on this also. When you see the video, you'll realize it is quite funny, because it's like Rajpal Yadav wants to do everything. And I see some of these trainers also acting that way, because whenever there's a training requirement, they're like, ये कौन करेगा, मैं करेगा. And then like
Exactly.
second thing, oh, ये भी मैं करेगा. There's
And that's
not
the
their
thing,
forte, it's
Maya.
not what they're doing. And then something, as you rightly said, पे वाला जो चीज है, standardization of pay. uh, because everyone wants to get into training. Some people, it's not my forte, but wo training hai, I have a requirement, I want to not sit at home. So if the standard rate for that training is possibly like a 50,000, they are okay to do it as low as 10,000.
You're
Kill the
talking about
competition.
50 and 10. I'll give you more examples. In Delhi
I mean,
NCR, particularly our market. So, you know what? Because we are a training and development
yeah,
consulting
yeah.
firm as well, and we work with corporates. So, we have a BE team which keeps on reaching out to people. And we have this thing that we are very customizable kind of people.
Yeah.
Because for us, our training agenda is strong. We know what we are doing. And that too because we keep on upskilling as well. I also keep on upskilling. Now the thing is that for example, we recently reached out to an institution, and we said, okay, we also provide POSH training, and this is like entire conversation was happening.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, what are you going to do? Depending upon what you want. So we have this
Mm.
thing that we ask client what are their requirements,
Correct.
and then
Correct.
we customize the entire thing. Sometimes their budget is
Mm.
actually very low. They're a startup
Yeah.
organization, they cannot spend like 2 lakh rupees.
Mm.
So that doesn't mean that their employees should not get trained, right? But yeah,
Correct.
whatever can be done, best in that. My parents are into business, so I think so that is coming in genes only.
Mm.
So yeah, so they said that पहले तो they took all the quote and all. So the quote was of
Mm.
5,000 rupees, by the way, not
Mm.
not a lot.
Mm.
For
Mm.
like 1 day training, it was just 5,000 rupees for them. 2 3 days back, we followed up on. Then they are
Mm.
saying, no, 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 you people are very pricey. I said, very pricey for what? Like
For
one,
5,000, very
like,
pricey.
yeah, I understand that. And of course, the
Mm.
trainer has to be
Interesting.
like this. And then they're like, no, no, for 2.5 hours module, who charges 5,000 rupees? We are getting this module in 200 rupees, 300 rupees only. Legitimately, they said. So I said, I'll help you with something. I'll save your 200, 300 rupees as well. They were like, how? I sent them an entire playlist on YouTube altogether. I said, ask
Mm.
your employees to read it and then ask ChatGPT to create an assessment for you. Give the assessment, your tick box activity is done. No
Yeah.
need to even spend 200 rupees in today's era. Why are we
Correct.
spending?
Correct,
So then
correct,
they
correct.
become very shocked. They're like, how can a training and development consulting firm tell that, okay, I'm giving you free resources only? But the thing is, the
Sometimes people
price,
don't realize. Yeah.
yeah, the price is of expertise. The price is of that
Yes.
realism. The price is of that relatability. The price is of time of the person. If I
Mm,
am going for the 2.5-hour module, so I'm also bringing a lot of wealth of relatable examples for you as well, which
mm,
might be well researched. And trainers who are listening to this as well, please develop your researching skill set.
mm,
Gone are the days when you like create a module in, let's say, on PPT you created 30 slides, and then you're going to the any of XYZ clients, any of the industry, and playing the same thing. You think the facilitation can save your day, but no. You need to be very sure that if you are taking 50,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees, whatever you're taking, give the client maximum satisfaction. And it is not something new, it is the OG formula of business.
mm.
Maximum customer satisfaction will give you more and more business
Yeah,
and more client retention. And this has worked for us. I can vouch for that.
100%. And I think there's a lot to learn from your journey, from what the entire team, Mehnati team, is doing.
Mehanti
There's a
team,
quite
yeah.
interesting question coming your way. Quite interesting question coming your way. What is, for example, let's do this activity. Okay, you fast forward, like time travel. Okay, you get like a device and you time travel, and this is like 2035, 10 years from now.
Okay.
You and the entire Magneti team, uh, what are you doing? If you could just tell us, where have you reached, how many people, what are the things that possibly you are like, this is interesting. I know for a fact that if you're planning 1 year entirely, you already have this sort of vision, you have thought about it. You,
Yes.
Preeta and the entire team, you already have this. But 10 years, uh, what is happening?
Okay. Um, from the perspective of Mehan, our vision will be still the same. We'll still keep
Hmm,
on contributing to India's growth by
hmm.
developing
Let's
good
talk in the
skills.
present tense. Okay, this is what we're doing.
So that is going to be
A
10 years
present
later
tense.
as well. Yeah.
So you will say that, okay, 2035, this is where we are now.
Yeah. So we will be, of course, right now, if we are catering to, let's say, 50,000 people, at that time, the scale will be
Hmm,
huge. We'll be catering to a lot more people.
hmm,
Um, I also see that in at Mihan there will be a community of people, will be a very community-driven people, community of
hmm,
trainers and coaches and mentors and
hmm,
facilitators, all of the fellows. They're coming
hmm,
together and creating dialogues which are changing industries altogether.
hmm.
So I think so that will happen. My team will still,
Interesting.
my team will, I think so. It, of course, the scale will be big. So I know a
Hmm,
lot of other people might be there. I'm not putting a number out there because that will be
hmm,
directly proportional to what kind of work we need. But yeah, my team will always have a very good diversity from a lot of regions of India. And if international, then yes, of course, that will be there.
In fact,
And
that is
we'll
what I
make,
was looking at. Whether you are putting that word, that, okay, human resource, India, you started, had that curiosity that I want to connect with a lot of people across
yeah,
India. Now, I know for
absolutely.
sure, जितना मैं जान पाया हूँ आपको इतने छोटे कम वक्त में, that you are not going to stop. You're like, hey, you know what? वो American लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? What's happening in
Yes, yes,
Iraq?
yes,
What's happening in
absolutely.
Pakistan? What are the Bangladeshis doing? Let me just connect with
Absolutely.
them. Trainers from there as well, and then
Yeah.
all one uh, global
Global
Manti
kind of
tribe.
training
You
environment.
know,
Yeah, yeah, that will
that
be
would be
there
good,
for
right?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is there. My workforce, like I said, will be very diverse, not with the
Hmm.
countries, not with the Indian states, but also with
Hmm.
the various identities as well. I want a lot of neurodiverse folks to be in my community. And I'm still like looking for them. Anyone who
Hmm.
is coming from that community, please apply. Please come and talk to me. Apply, be care. Please come and talk to me. I'll be very happy to inculcate you in my team, to offer whatever we can do. I want a lot of people from various section of the society in the terms of caste and creed as well, because
Hmm.
I might not have told this, but I'll tell you about this later. I am actually, I work on the inequalities agenda also of
Hmm.
SDGs, a lot of like apart from Mehan also. And then my team will have people who are not getting employment in case they have career gaps. Again, like still the same thing, but a lot more people. Female who really, or housewife who want to like get some flexible workforce. That okay, I want to just work for let's say 4 hour. So I really want to create that kind of environment. And in 10 years, I think so we will also mitigate a lot with the government. We'll have that. Okay, this is the data set, this is what we have researched, this is the finding, this is the industry report. Now tell what you can do.
Hmm.
So we want to
While you're
create a
talking
lot of
about
dialogues like
this,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
of
while
course,
you're
of
talking
course.
about this, uh, the government of India, they already have a vision for
Yeah,
India, right?
even see
2047.
this
Then
government,
it,
that government,
yeah.
any XYZ government, because we
Hmm.
are living in a democracy, it might change or not change. But yeah,
Hmm.
it's a very business orientation as well, Maya. If
Hmm.
human capital is not being developed, how are you going to reach to the things in 2047 when we are like, okay, we have already put a
Very
lot
true.
of promises
Very
on
true.
the global agenda already. In G20
Hmm.
also, in general also, a lot of promises we have put. As Mehan, we would like to be industry leaders, not with the research or training and development, but also from the perspective of the workforce preparedness and the human capital. And we want to create a
Hmm.
lot of research reports, industry level, for various fraction, and actually
Yeah.
give the data. Help our government, any government, not this and anyone, but help the government and policy makers with the data about what is exactly needed. And
Hmm.
these are the things, and we are not saying it because we feel so. This is the data supporting that as well, right?
Hmm.
And we would like to create these reports so that things can change for a larger society as well. At Mihan, we are not here just to do some training and some skill development. Of course, that is there. That is a part of the entire agenda. But what I am saying right now is definitely going to happen in 10 years. Because we want to be industry leaders into that.
Amazing.
We want our community to feel that okay, something is going wrong with the training and development industry. So now
Hmm.
the thing is, we can go to Mehan people, we can tell them that this is happening. Anyway, they're working on this agenda. So they'll listen to us, and then they'll take this voice to the government or the policymaker or the required stakeholder.
Asking a very simple follow-up question. What are three skills that every Indian should, look out for right now? Three things to look out for.
Three
One, I know
skills.
that Mehan is also doing something very specific for trainers, which is AI for trainers, which is absolutely. But uh, now for others also, like general people also, not just specifically trainers, but what three skills that people should have by default. Start upskilling now.
Digital literacy, financial literacy, and
Hmm.
constitutional literacy. Three things. That's it.
Hmm. Interesting. Interesting.
Let's say
No,
you
I
come and
am
you say,
obviously I'm happy to become an intern also. So I've told you,
ah, now
I've
you're
told you this
kidding on
before as
that.
well. No, 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 absolutely. And for me, it is more about learning, right? And
Absolutely.
when it comes to certain things about the business that you're into, I have just ventured out. It's like new for me, right? So I'm learning a
Yes.
lot by trial and error.
Okay.
I get my own clients. I'm busy. I'm doing the podcast. I'm doing personal branding, and there's a lot of things that I keep learning. But then,
Yes.
obviously, it helps to have a mentor, someone who's walked that path before. It doesn't really matter about the age. You have people who are like very young, but they have lived that experience. They have lived that sort of life. They have fallen down. They have gotten up. They are walking that path. So there's a lot of lesson. And something that stuck with me always is when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So
Absolutely.
when you become a student and you're willing to learn, anyone and everyone can teach you.
Absolutely.
So I'm more than
Also,
happy, by
one
the way,
more
to
thing
apply for that internship.
I would like to announce something maybe which can help our community in general as well, no matter like whether it's
Yes,
a trainer or non-trainer. Uh, we are almost going to announce at Mehan a fellowship for learning and development for a
amazing.
year. And this
Wow.
fellowship will not only cover the training methodologies and what you do as a trainer, but all the walks of life. We
Hmm.
really want to be an incubator for a lot of startups. At Mihan, there is a policy, by the way, people, if you don't know, that a lot of like our teammates, they are by themselves are good entrepreneurs. Someone is a there's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
teammate
I know
called
you
Tanvi.
told me some.
Yeah, Tanvi is a home baker, and then she has an amazing setup. She is also exploring the entrepreneurship. There's another mentor, a kind of like senior person which we have. Her name is Seema ma'am. She has her own venture for podcasting and storytelling. Her venture's name is Cafe Kahani. So she works on that as well. So at Mihan, we really value if you're an entrepreneur and if you're trying to solve something and which gives you a lot of joy. That is also very important. Your vision should be clear. So we are always there to support you as an employer, as a mentor, as whatever you feel like. And this fellowship is going to be a year of learning into this industry if you want to get into with everything, with
When
the
are we
business
starting?
POV, with the digital literacy POV, and with the other POVs as well. in the next month, we are going to officially announce it. There are few nitty-gritties because we are also designing this from the scratch. We are designing this in consideration of a lot of gaps which exist in the current fellowship. And we were not able to find very good fellowship in training, learning, and development scenario. So that gives you, see, internship and fellowship are two different things. Internship has to be because it's mostly with like 3 months, 4 months. So it's very limited by the exploration part. Even you will also feel like, okay, this is a skill I want to own. And this is why I'm doing the internship and I want to go. But if you truly love an industry and if you really want to see inside out of that, so for that, fellowships are a very good option. And I'll be very happy
Hmm.
to support you and guide you during that fellowship as well. We'll officially announce it by the end of this month or maybe the first week of October. And then everyone who is, and no matter which background you're from, no matter what is your age, no matter what you want to do, maybe it is a little bit more than training and development. We'll be very happy to see it into your statement of purpose. That is how we hire at MeHAN, by the way, people.
A couple of questions that I have, and through you, I would like the audience also think about this question seriously. And one of the important question is a lot of people, whether they are into business or possibly leading life. Uh, in Hinduism, there's a very central concept of what you're doing, karma. It comes back, and there's also one of the important thing about dharma that what you do is you're supposed to do. Like I remember watching this amazing video where it said even if you're a trainer or you are a chef or you are possibly even a driver, what you do
Mm.
defines you, and it is important that you do with utmost respect and utmost honesty. So what do you think about it, Shivani? Do you think that this was just chance or destiny that you actually got into learning and development? Is this your dharma?
No,
What is it for
I'll
you?
I'll give you my perspective on this, Maria. I believe whenever a person is born, right? Whenever a person is born, there are two things. One is destiny, where they can reach, and it is written. Like for example, how we met can be a destiny. There are millions of other users on LinkedIn, but we got connected. That's a destiny. But then there is karma. Karma is how we are taking it forward now. Like what kind of talk or what kind of respect I'm giving to you or what kind of understand I'm giving to your work, right? That will build the relations and that will build the collaborations and that's how you
Mm,
move and that will also change the course of my life as well,
yeah.
right? So I particularly take my work very seriously as karma and as something which I'm putting, it's my karma dharma, right?
Mm,
It's something which I should be honest to myself first, then to my work first, and then I'm going out and telling everyone, okay, as trainer, as coach, as mentor, that this is what you have to do in your practical or your personal life. Because I'm also
mm,
into psychology, a lot of time counseling also is also into the picture. Career
yeah.
counseling is also in the picture. So now the thing is, I particularly feel that हमारे होने का एक रीजन तो
Mm,
है पर वो
yeah.
रीजन आपके पास तब ही चलकर आएगा जब आप खुद को एक्सप्लोर करोगे.
Mm,
If I would not have been a person, I'm a single child of my parents, by the way.
mm,
If I would not have been a person who has to spend a lot of time alone, lot of time reading things, lot of time thinking that, oh, acha, this thing is saying this, that thing is saying that, the deliberation is not happening for me. If a few key moments of life have not been happened, which, for example, I told you about Sarangi movement, I told you about my 10th, 11th, 12th movement, I told you my decision to come to University of Delhi and then standing by that decision, not because वो जिद है because that is something which is important for me. I know
yeah.
that this will take me closer to what I thought. What is my karma? What is my reason to be? I think so. I will change my course of life in those key moments. And if you ask me, Maria, there are 4 5 moments which till now I am able to understand that किसी भी इंसान के लाइफ में वो हो तो उसमें अपने हिसाब से काम करना चाहिए.
Mm,
First thing is your study related uh, decisions.
mm,
No, which college you're choosing, which
yeah.
course you're choosing. It doesn't have to be what industry needs. It
Mm,
always should be what you can create for that industry. A
amazing. Yeah.
lot of industries which are dead, maybe you can say, okay, radio to kaun sunta hai? But here we have
Mm,
Saregama, Karma.
mm,
People
mm,
are taking that product because they're like in
yeah.
nostalgia. They're like, I want the
Correct.
radio. Like people say that, let's say that keypad mobile is not in the picture anymore. But recently, Nokia launched it, and a lot of people came and they got that phone. So it's never about
Mm.
what exactly is relevant, it's always about how you can be relevant to that industry and how you can actually revive it. So that career and your study related decision. Second,
Mm.
finding your
Studies
partner.
and careers, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
finding
yes,
your
very
partner.
important. Mm.
You need to think whenever in a relationship, you are getting into a relationship. And I am of that kind of person. I feel you need to meet a lot of people in order to find a perfect
Mm.
partner. And perfect is not because they have everything.
Mm.
Perfect is because you have the potential to create everything you people want, you and your partner
Yeah.
want. So for that, you have to meet a lot of people. For that, you need to understand, okay, this is what I like, this is I don't like, right? So finding a good partner and then standing and abiding by that decision, going
Mm.
like sometimes adversely to what your society and what your enforcement related to your society or the region you are, that is there. If you know that the person is right, stand by them.
Mm.
Because that is your commitment. Commitment is not saying that, okay, Maria, I'm going to stay with you for, let's say, 1,000 years now, as a coach, as a mentor, as a trainee. No. But the
Very true.
commitment is that, okay, I and Maria can create a better ecosystem for, let's say, training
Yeah.
and development world, and we both have shared vision. Similarly,
Mm.
for a partner also, Maria, it is very, very crucial. आप
Yeah.
दोनों अपनी जिंदगी में कुछ भी कर रहे हो सकते हैं,
Mm.
लेकिन आपका विजन क्या है? What you want to create in this life together, let's say for next 20 years, 30 years, is something that
Mm.
should be aligned. And how are you going to do that? Again, physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, then with the culture in India, in a country like India, in the cultural aspect, how are you going to manage the distances? How are you going to manage the food preferences? How are you going to manage the clothing sometimes? Like very small, small thing. I think so. That is something
Mm.
which we should really think about if you really want to attain that vision for which you are there. टू बी, अगर आप कह रहे हो कि
Mm.
मेरा ये विजन है, मुझे लगता है कि मैं इसलिए इस दुनिया में हूँ, उसको अवेल करने के लिए कुछ लोग लगेंगे, कुछ लोग चाहिए
Mm.
होंगे. For your
Yeah.
friends, your partner, and your family, your parents as well. There are going to
Mm.
be a lot of intergenerational dilemmas because your parents have been living in some different era.
Yeah.
Their childhood, their adulthood was in different era. There were different kind of challenges in, let's say, 1990s. But
Mm.
when I'm talking about 2025, there are different challenges. And in 2045, it will be different. It's
Very true.
always good to sometime go ahead and create those talking places by yourself. It is difficult. I'm not
Mm.
saying it's easy, but that intergenerational dialogue should be there. And third
Mm.
thing is, once you are like sorted with your personal life and your fuel, how you're going to lead to that vision, then you need to have surety that every other time and then, either by writing or by sitting yourself or by traveling or by eating food or by just
Mm.
sometimes living with a few people with whom you are closely resonating and connecting, self explore yourself every like 2 3 years, see what is changing,
Mm.
what is not changing. And don't be
Mm.
closed. Don't be like, अरे यार मैंने तो Maria, I was like very keen of becoming an video anchor when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Then I wanted to
Mm.
become an RJ, by the way. Then
Mm.
and then after all, I told you, class six and later on journey, already. But when I look at my career now, it has everything. I am a
Mm.
person who is speaking with you in podcast. I am a person who is like talking all the time. I am the person who is traveling also because I am liking it. So all of these things are putting a check. But it would not have been possible without some informed decision making. And fourth thing is, Maria,
Yeah.
that leave the things you cannot control. Just leave it. Make
Mm.
the line. I can control my career, my hard work, I can control registering my startup. I can control putting like
Mm.
16 hours in my startup. I can control my partner and me and how I'm going to put the relationship, how I'm going to do the conversation. But I
Yeah.
cannot control what my, let's say, my family and partners are feeling because of
Yeah.
my involvement in this.
Mm.
So leave that. Don't control it. Be there,
Mm.
listen to it, but don't control it.
Mm.
You cannot hold anyone if they don't want to be in, and don't just try till the time you feel. that, okay, this is something genuinely was coming out of me, and then leave it. And this is in relationship with your entrepreneurship venture, with your training, with your career, with your partners, with your family, with everyone. When I decided that I want to switch from HR, proper corporate HR, to HR L&D professional, the decision was not easy, Maria, because
Mm.
it also gives you some stability in the form of
Yes.
money, in the form
Yes.
of social recognition also. Where are you working?
Mm.
What are you doing? I'm an HR. People will be like,
Mm.
ma'am, नौकरी चाहिए, नौकरी चाहिए. That is the very first thing. But once you're like, okay, I'm in HR learning and development, people don't know about it only. So they'll be like,
Mm.
what? ट्रेनर टीच अच्छा टीचर हो आप एट द एंड ऑफ द डे मतलब जाके लोगों को पढ़ाते ही हो ना.
Yeah, very true.
So you don't waste your time in just telling until unless they're open to listen. कि okay, this
Mm.
is the difference. If they're open to listen genuinely, fine. Otherwise say हाँ हाँ ठीक है पढ़ाती ही हूँ बहुत बढ़िया है. Save your time. Use it for something you want to create.
Yeah.
Don't give unnecessary excuses to people who are not ready to listen and who are just there to put you down. कि अरे यार जिंदगी में फॉर एग्जाम्पल हमने तो जीवन में ऐसे ही देखा है कि मान लो अभी ये बॉटल है या एक फोन है वो ऐसे ही रहता है तो ऐसे ही रहना चाहिए ना आप इसको क्यों
Mm.
लेट्स से रेक्टेंगल की बजाय इसको स्क्वायर क्यों कर रहे हो सर्कल क्यों कर रहे हो मत करो ना.
Mm.
When you're creating something, don't. Just don't
Mm.
engage. Listen and go away. Because that will, for me, it has given me a lot of gap. जैसे ही
Mm.
मुझे कुछ ऐसी बात करता है तो I to note it down in my diary. And I
Mm.
start work for that particular cause only. Researching, same वही है. Research करना है, कोशिश करनी है, दो हाइपोथेसिस बना के देखना है, वर्क करता है, वर्क नहीं करता है. फिर उसके बाद मॉडल बनाना है, सर्वे करना है, एक्सपेरिमेंट करना है, कुछ उसकी फाइंडिंग निकलेगी, फिर उससे कुछ प्रोडक्ट निकलेगा, मार्केट में क्रेडिबिलिटी देखनी है या उसकी कितनी रिक्वायरमेंट है, नीड कितनी है, वो देखनी है. अगर आज रेलेवेंट नहीं है तो मुझे पता है 5 साल बाद वो हो ही जाएगा. अगर वो
Mm.
रेलेवेंट नहीं है तो आई कैन ब्रिंग द शिफ्ट इन द कल्चर एंड आई विल मेक इट रेलेवेंट.
Yeah, yeah.
सो दिस इज
Very
हाउ
true.
इट वर्क्स.
Very true. No, no, what I'm
या
hearing from you, and this is like beautiful points.
या
As you rightly said right at the start, we have to do like a weekly session with Shivani Rawat,
यस.
talking about studies, careers, choosing relationship, self-exploration, and I think, leaving things, not letting it disturb you, bother you. पांच टॉपिक मिल गए हैं, पांच सेशन तो हो ही जाएंगे. So maybe LinkedIn
Absolutely.
live तो हम कर ही लेंगे पांच. That is for sure.
I'll be
But there's
very
so many
happy to
things.
share my
There's
opinions and perspectives.
there's
Yes.
actually so many things that I personally learned in the last like 2 hours or so that we're speaking. But there's actually a lot I know for sure to learn. And what I really admire about you, Shivani, is you are not shying away from saying that I'm going to keep this information knowledge with me. You're willing to share, and that reminds me of something very, very beautiful. And it is, so every time I'm sharing my link in bio, the first statement there, the first phrase there says, the purpose of life is to find your gift. Okay. The purpose of life is to find your gift. The meaning of life is to give that gift away.
Wow.
And that
Amazing.
stays with me because it's a reminder that, okay, my life's purpose is to find what I'm really good at. So maybe through the podcast, reaching out to some people, bringing about that shift that, like, okay, everyone is not even watching the entire podcast, but there may be at least one person here, this helped, right? So maybe through that, maybe through the training, maybe through what I'm putting like a post, maybe through some of the other things that I do in my personal life or professional life, just helping out friends, listening to them, but small things that I know that I'm really good at. So finding my purpose, and then once I found my gift, just giving it to someone. And for
Absolutely.
that means that actually gives meaning to me and my life. And that brings us to the last question, at least for this bit of the podcast, and that is, what is your will of life? And I'll explain, for those people who are new to this channel. I have a very good friend, mentor, coach. A couple of years ago, when I reached out to him, I said, "Sir, I'm stuck in my career. I don't know what to do. I want to grow in my career, but I don't know how. Can you guide me?" And he said, okay, he got me into a cabin 40, 45 minutes. He asked me to write down certain things. What do you really want in life? And he said, you have to write it down. And I was like, sir, मैं बहुत smart है ऐसा. ठीक है, मेरे को सब याद रहता है, तो लिखाई पढ़ाई वाला मत करो. I will remember. He said, you have to write down. And he gave a logical explanation also. He said, the minute you start writing it down, what is here in a different world, right? It comes into the physical world. So
Yes.
first manifestation that is happening is when you write it down. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Logic bande mein hai. So I started writing down. But it was the first time I ever thought of my goals. Because iske pehle, to be really honest, it was like father said, do this. I was like, okay, no option. Abba nahi mante to we have to do it. Do one or the other thing. Parents or teachers or elders, they say do this, do that, and we are just doing it. But no one actually sat me down and said, beta, aapko kya karna hai life mein?
Absolutely.
So I sat there 40-45 minutes. I was like, wow. And because that person had so much of influence in my life, I said I want to do something as a Guru Dakshina. So his name is Pradeep Warpe, WARPE. And I have developed a framework. It's called, named after Warpe, but with a D. So it becomes warped. The first W of that framework is writing your will.
Oh, very nice, sir.
Yeah, when I think about it, it basically means most of us would be setting goals for
Mm.
6 months, for a year, for 5 years, for 10 years. What I really prefer is because you want to lead life meaningfully. That you
Absolutely.
might hear a lot of people, unfortunate deaths or something or the other thing keeps happening. So we don't know if we are alive. One thing we know for sure is that someday all of us will pass away, reality of life. But we want to make sure that regardless of the generational gap, because our parents, their parents, different lifestyle, different, rural India different, corporate India different, urban area very different, international people. But one thing that's common is all of us will pass away one day. Are we living life purposefully with meaning? Have you found your gift? Are you giving away that gift? That's the question. So
Absolutely.
writing a will really helps because it's the ultimate goal I want to achieve of my life. So that is the tick box कि ये तो होना चाहिए.
Absolutely.
So like for example, I had this manager I was coaching, right? And he said, "Sir, I want to become a good father." मैं बोला, "Okay, that's brilliant. कैसे कर रहे हो?" He said, "Sir, I'm looking for a promotion. मैं बहुत मेहनत कर रहा हूँ ताकि मुझको promotion मिले, and by next year I'll be able to earn more and do this and do that. I'll be able to get my kid to the best school. उसका अच्छी पढ़ाई करूंगा, अच्छा saving करूंगा." मतलब वाह वाह वाह, this is amazing. Like super proud of you, daddy. लेकिन how is it really helping you achieve your goal? Your goal
Absolutely.
is to become a really good father.
Yeah.
Are you even spending time with your child? तो बोला सर काम की वजह से नहीं मिलता ना टाइम. Then what is the meaning of it?
Absolutely.
1 year later you want to get that promotion. If something happens to you,
Absolutely.
then your child is going and see. At least what I've learned from watching that movie Animal is people become animal like Ranbir Kapoor because Anil Kapoor has no time for him.
Absolutely. They're
Very
not
wealthy
getting
but
that
no time.
relatability. That's a parenting
Correct.
101. Yeah.
Correct. So that's the thing, and I'm asking Shivani through you, for the others also who are viewing this, please think about this. If you want, I can even give you a template to actually start writing it down. But think
Mm.
about it. What is your will of life? Just like you have a legal will that if I die, my property goes to this person. Because मैं बोल रहा हूँ प्रॉपर्टी के लिए तो एटलीस्ट विल लिख लेना, वरना प्रॉपर्टी के लिए भाई भाई झगड़ा कर लेते हैं. ठीक है, ताऊ और चाचा झगड़ा कर लेते हैं, प्लीज. But
Mm.
the way we have like, okay, my gaon wala property goes to this person, my house in Mumbai goes to this person, my property, my car, you have like a legal will. How about writing a will of your life,
Absolutely. I'm very
saying that
happy.
okay, yeah, 5 साल अगर हमारे पास टाइम है,
Yeah.
क्या होगा will of life? So think about it, take your time, just think कि अच्छा, I know for you Shivani this will come very naturally because you're living your purpose, you're doing things, you're making that impact. But just for a minute, if you had to pause and reflect and say, hey, you know what, if I have possibly 5 years to live my life, or possibly have 1 year, or possibly 6 months, how do I really want to live my life? Because then it becomes very, very clear, very easy. Each day I know I've written it down. Each day I know I have to get up, maybe through the podcast, maybe through my training, maybe through how I spend my time with my wife, with my family, with my friends. I know this is exactly what I want. So if tomorrow something happens to me, मैं उधर खुशी खुशी I'm like, okay, I live my best life.
Yes. Absolutely. Okay. Thank you, Maria, for this wonderful approach as well. And I'm very happy. Like I said, we align on a lot of things, but yeah. You were saying that 6 month or 1 year. I live my life day by day, by the way. Maria. Like I
Hats
have
off.
this thing.
Hats off.
And day by day, not it's not a sadistic thought. Like a lot of people come, at least my friends are like, तुझे क्या है? ये इतना कौन सोचता है? But like I said, with the music also, when the metronome is like 1, 2, 3, 4, and sometimes when I'm sitting somewhere during the times where we feel gloomy, or where we feel like, okay, this is happening, that is happening, and that's very natural. Happens with me also. So then in that moment, I reflect back and see what I've earned actually. Trust me, the answer is never in money. Never in money. Of
Mm,
course, good money, thank you. But yeah, but apart from that, what I have earned and what I'm staying like leaving. And the same question I
mm,
asked at least, I think so, not let's say one day, but yeah, I think so one day, maybe once in 2 days for sure. That question,
mm,
it will strike my mind someday. So I think so if I'm leaving this world and the will of my life is there, I definitely, like I said, I would like to remain, and be in people's heart just as a person with whom काम करके मजा आया या बात करके मजा
mm.
आया. मतलब ऐसे मिले थे किसी से और बहुत मजा आया. मतलब इट डजंट हैव टू बी अ ट्रेनिंग, इट डजंट हैव टू बी अ कोचिंग. इट्स लाइक अरे यार किसी से तो बात करके बहुत मजा आया था. आधे घंटे बात करी हमने, तो सोचा था आधे घंटे बात करी, वो 4 घंटे में कब बदल गई पता ही नहीं चला.
That I agree.
So I want to remain in people's heart like that. मतलब
Yeah.
एज समवन इनके साथ आधे घंटे बात करके वो भूल गए कि वो कहाँ थे, उनके जीवन में क्या चल रहा था,
Mm,
या हमने उन्हीं चीजों के बारे में बात भी करी तो बहुत और थोड़ा सा अच्छा लगा उन्हें. नॉट कि कोई सोल्यूशन मिल गया, बस अच्छा लगा, सिर्फ अच्छा लगा.
mm,
सो आई वांट टू रिमेन इन पीपल्स स्टोरीज, कि वो कल को अपने XYZ किसी बच्चे दोस्त किसी को बताए, बोले अरे एक मैम मिली थी वहां पे, उन्होंने इतनी बातें बताई. आई वांट टू बी दैट कैरेक्टर इन देयर लाइफ. Second thing is, if will is there, the like you said, properties should also be here and there. So I would like my business to go to at least my co-founder Preeta, if she is alive
mm,
by then, and even if she is not there, we would like to create, leaders within our organization जो कि को क्रिएटिवली जैसे हम कर रहे हैं वैसे ही वो करते रहे, नॉट बिकॉज ये हमारा विजन है, जबकि ऑल्सो बिकॉज दे ऑल्सो अलाइन, एंड इफ दे वांट टू
yeah.
चेंज इट लेटर ऑन फॉर द लार्जर गुड, विल बी वेरी हैप्पी टू सी दैट, मे बी फ्रॉम द हेवन और हेल, वेयर एवर वी आर, फ्रॉम द यूनिवर्स, कि अच्छा ठीक है, देकर गए थे सोशल इम्पैक्ट के लिए या लार्जर पॉपुलेशन के गुड के लिए, आज हम स्किल ट्रेनिंग कर रहे हैं, कल को मान लो वो कोई एक रोबोट बना दे, विल बी वेरी हैप्पी विद दैट. ऐसा नहीं है कि
Mm,
उन्हें इसी विजन से स्टिक करना है, बट हाँ, first will be Preeta, and then second will be, let's say, if she is also like not there to take care of this, then anyone, because we have wonderful entrepreneurs in our organization. मुझे पता है 10 साल बाद भी वो वहीं रहेंगे, और मुझे ये भी पता है कि वो बहुत अच्छा कर रहे होंगे. सो लालच में नहीं कि बिजनेस मिल रहा है, बट काम में कि हाँ काम ये करना है. I would like to, because I have a lot of books, people. Matlab, I think so. Like I'm looking around and seeing how many books I have right now in this room as well. I would like to give all of these books to my partner, who is a data scientist.
mm,
So I would like to, like, it's a kind of token of love to him, so that he can read all of the
mm,
things who actually made me who I am.
mm.
So I would want
With
him because
possibly
he.
some handwritten
Huh,
notes,
every
secret notes.
so our love
Any?
language people is like that. We keep on giving each other books, and on every book we'll write something. It has been
Mm, so
wonderful, like
sweet.
3 years of relationship, and very beautiful. So so I want him to just go ahead, sometime open a book, read, and I have this thing that I'll keep on underlining the things. He has the thing, he wants his books to be pristine clean. I want him to get irritated every time the book is opening. I want him to be like that. I was like, why
Absolutely
she has
adorable.
done this? So yeah, I want to give all of my books because I think so that that knowledge in those books is the thing, is that one element which made me who I am, apart from my upbringing and
Mm,
other thing. वो तो आया बाय बर्थ आया, बट ये वो है जो मैंने खुद को बनाया. तो आई वॉन्ट टू गिव माई
yeah.
पार्ट, माई फेयर शेयर टू माई पार्टनर लाइक दैट. And if possible, by the 10 years, I want to create a very good library, a study in our home, and write it as like, okay, this, and I am going to write it actually. In case of my absence, this belongs to this person. So that I want to create.
Wow.
I want to give away all my digital library, or let's say anything, as open source. I'll ask Preeta to put it as an open, website or open resource for anyone and everyone to avail this. जो भी मैंने जीवन में ट्रेनिंग मॉड्यूल्स क्रिएट करे होंगे या जो भी रिसर्च पेपर्स लिखे होंगे या जो भी चीजें लिखी होंगी, आई वांटेड टू बी एन ओपन सोर्स बिकॉज नॉलेज किसी की जायदाद नहीं होती। आई आई पर्सनली बिलीव ये सबकी होती है। सो आई वुड लाइक कि लोग ऐसे आए और कहें अच्छा ट्रेनिंग एंड डेवलपमेंट, ओके लेट्स गो टू XYZ लाइब्रेरी, काम हो जाएगा अपना। So I want to
Hmm.
write till the time I die, and I write a lot on my personal blog as well. So I want it so that it remains एविडेंस में। हम आज भी जैसे हड़प्पन सिविलाइजेशन के बारे में पढ़ते हैं, क्यों पढ़ते हैं? बिकॉज किसी ने तो
Hmm.
सोचा, किसी ने तो लिखा, क्यों दिखा जैसे दिखा। ऑल दो इतिहास जो होता है, मैं ये भी मानती हूँ, इतिहास एक परसेप्शन है जो हम क्रिएट करते हैं उन चीजों से।
Hmm.
पर फिर भी मैं चाहूंगी वो रहे, मतलब क्लाउड में रहे, AWS में रहे, आने वाले समय में मिट्टी में रहे ना रहे, लेकिन AWS में रहे, एंड वो ओपन रहे सबके लिए,
Yeah.
open for all. I would like to give my sarangi back to my Guruji and community because sarangi, ये सारंगी मेरे गुरुजी ने अपने हाथों से बनाई है और मेरे पार्टनर ने मुझे
Wow.
गिफ्ट करी थी बिफोर वी गॉट इनटू द रिलेशनशिप। सो ये सारंगी, क्योंकि सारंगी एक ऐसा, और जितने भी हिंदुस्तानी क्लासिकल म्यूजिक इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स हैं, सो ये एक ऐसे होते हैं जो सालों साल अगर ध्यान रखे जाए तो सदियों तक चलते हैं। माय गुरुजी
Hmm.
स्टिल हैज सारंगी मे बी विच इज लाइक 120 130 years old. So
Wow.
I would like to give it back to Sarangi Cultural Academy because वहीं से आया है, इसे वहीं जाना चाहिए। And I would want, and it's an expensive instrument for sure. तो जो बच्चे नहीं सीख पा रहे हैं उनको है ललक, तो I would like them to practice on this सारंगी। इसको घर में रख के कोई फायदा नहीं है।
Hmm.
I would like to give it away like that. I would like to give away all my clothes, जितने भी कपड़े हैं
Hmm.
मेरे पास, क्योंकि बहुत है भाई। ये I think so that is something. Clothes and shoes and all the materialistic things. I would like to give it back to there are a lot of NGOs like that who upcycle and then who make various products out there, and a lot of female, I know a lot of females personally who are coming from a very very humble background, but they have
Hmm.
so much creativity and craft that if they get these clothes, for example, if they get this kurta, they can create into something else. So I would like
Hmm.
to create a center like that so that if they want to experiment, they can take, खराब करे अच्छा करे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, but yeah, it should be available to them for their,
Hmm.
yes.
I mean,
I
you are
would like
very
to give,
clear on these
I'm
things.
very
Like,
clear. I'm
I
very
love
clear.
that thing.
Every
Yeah.
other day I think about it. I would like to give
Hmm.
my cookbook. Cookbook because
Hmm.
I'm a good cook as well. Yeah. I would like to give my cookbook to my friends because उसके बिना उनका गुजारा
उनका
नहीं
अच्छा नहीं
हो
है.
पाएगा. So if they
Ah,
like still
okay.
miss
Yeah.
me, if they like still miss me and they feel like okay शिवानी जैसी कढ़ी खानी है, तो exactly it should be written over there that इतना बेसन, इतना दही और इतना इतना छाछ और इतना ये इतना दो, and then the pro tips जो मैंने उन्हें अभी तक नहीं बताई है. Chef never
Hmm.
tells, no, but हाँ,
Yeah,
at that time
absolutely.
I'd be
Never
able to
reveals the
tell.
secret. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would like to give a very, I would say, a large sum of money, a large sum of, although that is something which is not going to
Hmm.
suffice the loss of me not being there. But I would like to give itna amount of sum of money and somewhere around whatever like amount to my parents because at that time they will be very old and
Yeah.
there should be someone to take care of them. But the world is very difficult these days, so I
Very.
don't want them to be dependent on anyone. I would like to give them, of course, I spend a lot of time. I like keep on pestering them like a kid so that वो उनको याद रहे कि हाँ उनकी बेटी है अभी भी. I keep on doing क्योंकि मुझे पता है इंसान के जाने के बाद वो तो वापस आने से रहा. But हाँ, coming back to the life with the materialistic things, I want to give that amount of money to my parents, all the nomination, all everything, all insurances, all share markets, all equity, all everything, so that by the end of their life, they are not feeling dependent on anyone
Hmm.
because at that time they would be very old.
Yeah.
And then I would also ask them that okay, जब भी तुम्हारा हो जाए, if you feel like now you are going, all the properties, all everything, please give it away to XYZ people जो सही में stakeholders use करेंगे
Yes.
and in the social impact. For example, because I am a single child. Right. And with 10 years, I don't think so. I'm going to procreate nicely, but yeah, let's say. So, in that case, also, I don't want those resources to be stuck. I want the
Hmm.
rightful stakeholders to be there. Maybe I'll create a trust or something. I'll create before going away only from this world. I'll create
Hmm.
something like that. And I'll ask my parents also to be in a part of this. Till the time they're there, they'll be well taken care of. After that, everything is going to go away with XYZ rightfully owners. And then another thing is, I would like to give a fair share of amount of money to one of my sisters, my bua's daughter. Her name is Arpita. So I want her to also have that fair share of money. She is like 7 years younger to me, but in many ways, she has been my mentors in many ways. First time I took
Wow.
a child in my like हाथ like that was that only, and उससे पहले मैंने कभी बच्चा कोई हैंडल किया ही नहीं था कि कैसे हैंडल करते हैं, क्योंकि आई एम ओनली चाइल्ड. तो from there she has been my mentors when she was like what 6 months only. And
Hmm.
till now also, whenever I need some new age perspective, you're like, Didi, yeah, too boring you're doing. What is this? Nahi, 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 Didi, ye nahi chalega. So for all the mentorship she is giving to me, I would like to create that. I know she likes to travel. I know she likes to like wear good clothes. I know. So I want good amount of money to just be left with her, whatever she wants to do with it. चाहे
This
उसमें
is
वो
so
कुछ भी कर
beautiful.
दे. बिकॉज
It's
उसकी
so
लाइफ पे
beautiful.
मेरे मेरे जो ओपिनियंस है वो मैटर नहीं करते.
Yeah,
So if
yeah,
she
very
wants to
true.
like create something, she can do it. And to my
Wow.
friends, like I said, cookbooks and a lot of like these things only. जो उन्होंने मुझे आज तक गिफ्ट किया, I would like to give it back to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah,
And at a young age, you have achieved a lot.
yes. So this
You
is what
are
it
a
is.
inspiration for many, for sure. And with that sort of clarity that you have, कि अच्छा ये सारी चीजें करनी है, is beautiful. In fact, for all the guests that have been coming out of the podcast, that's the same question that I'm asking. And through the guest, it's a request to the viewers also that if you've never thought about this question, please कीजिए, because every now and then you will keep hearing about someone passing away, and then like, oh, maybe I should have spoken to that person, I should have spent more time with that person. You cannot now, but when you actually have time and they are here, please do that. Please have that sort of clarity life में चाहिए क्या, because I do say this because there's a very special training program also I'm designing for leaders. Imagine
Oh.
leading with this sort of clarity that hey, you know what, ये चाहिए मेरे को life में. So which
Hmm.
means
Hmm.
why you holding on to power? Eventually you know that you are going to pass away. Your leadership position will also pass away, but then you at least get to decide that who should be taking over. So succession planning comes very naturally because it's part of it. And then you're thinking, okay, for this employer, I don't really want to be shouting. Why? Because why, after something happens to me, I want this person to remember me for the good things I did for them. So having clarity for leadership also in that aspect. And through you, I'm very happy that Shivani, that you have this clarity. I'll be more than happy in case you want a template to actually write it down. So
I'm very
हाँ, मतलब
happy.
मजा आता है. Just write it down and give it to your partner or give it to his. They will be very emotional for sure, but then they will see the love and the care that you have for them, that you thought of them. Because मेरे को पता है, if I'm writing someone's name in my will, it's only because they actually mean something to me.
Yes.
It is a very special. Uh,
I'm like very happy you asked me this question because like I keep on thinking in my head about these things. And
Write
like
it
अच्छा
down.
ठीक है ये अभी बना लिया है ये इसको दे देंगे वो उसको दे देंगे उसको दे देंगे because I know Maya, I know at the end of the day and the kind of work I do,
Yeah.
with the social impact, I go to the communities. I take the most challenging jobs out there. Hats off to
Hmm.
my family and my partner for actually, it's very difficult to see your loved one in a situation where they're not at very comfortable stages for
Hmm.
sure. Because for example, like I said, लोग एकदम डंडे मारने के लिए पीछे पड़ रहे हैं. सुनने में बहुत
Yeah.
फैंसी लग सकता है कि आप गए आपने एक मेंस्ट्रुअल हाइजीन का एक सेशन लिया, सेक्स एजुकेशन का एक सेशन ले लिया, या आप गए आपने जहाँ अपनी लड़कियों को लोग पढ़ाना ही नहीं चाह रहे हैं, बच्चों को
Hmm.
बताना ही नहीं चाह रहे हैं, आप उनको कह रहे हो कि नहीं नहीं आप करो, आप उनको समझा रहे हो. हमारे लिए मैं डूअर हूँ, शायद मेरे लिए ये मेरी मोटिवेशन हो सकती है और मेरे
Hmm.
लिए ये बहुत इजी हो सकता है करना शायद, बट मेरे फैमिली एंड मेरे पार्टनर के लिए एंड मेरे फ्रेंड्स के लिए इट्स अ लॉट ऑफ हार्ड वर्क टू
Very true.
अंडरस्टैंड दैट क्यों आसान जिंदगी नहीं जी सकते हो भाई आप, क्यों नहीं कर सकते?
I totally agree.
बिकॉज उनका उनका जो लव है, इट इज ऑल्सो काइंड ऑफ प्रोटेक्शन विच दे वांट टू पुट
Yes.
कि आप
Yes.
प्लीज सही रहो, मतलब हेल्थ वाइज सही रहो. माय फादर एंड
Hmm.
माय मदर एवरी डे व्हेनेवर वी आर टॉकिंग दे विल से दैट दिस थिंग, अच्छा अच्छे से सो जाना, अच्छे से खाना खा लेना. मतलब ऐसा नहीं है दे डोंट नो दैट मैं खा लूंगी एंड दे नो आई एम वेरी लाइक दिस पर्सन कि मेरा खुद का काम नहीं होगा तो मुझे पता है कि कुछ नहीं होने वाला. बट स्टिल रात में यस्टरडे नाइट ओनली माय लाइक यस्टर नाइट ओनली माय फादर वाज टेलिंग मी, देख रहा हूँ मैं आजकल बहुत ज्यादा काम चल रहा है, इतना काम करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, किस बात की जल्दी है तुम्हें? एंड these are the things when they if it is coming in the form of love, because they
Hmm.
don't have to do anything with your profit or what you're creating, and how many people are
Yeah.
like saying that you are their mentor or not mentor, right? For them you will always remain their daughter or son. For my partner I will always remain their loved one, and it's very difficult to see that
Absolutely true.
loved one being in that uncomfortable situation. So that's why I
Correct.
never put on my own things. to any other stakeholder. I always, yeah, one more thing. Sorry, Maria, I'm just taking a little bit more
I
time.
have time. Take your time.
Yeah, now the thing is that I understood way back in 2020 only that my mental health is my responsibility, not my parents'
Hmm.
responsibility, not my partner's responsibility. And
Hmm.
since then only, I have been taking my therapy sessions all the time. Every month there is a therapy session because to be a good trainer, it's important that I myself first of all resolve my own biases एंड
Hmm.
माई ओन लिव्ड एक्सपीरियंसेस मेरा एक्सपीरियंस किसी चीज से खराब है इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि सबका खराब होगा एंड
Hmm.
ट्रेनिंग क्योंकि एक बहुत साइकोलॉजिकल प्रोसेस है समटाइम्स वी फॉरगेट दैट लाइन एग्जिस्ट सो हमें
Hmm.
ये एक शॉर्ट ही रहनी चाहिए थोड़ा थोड़ा सा अनकन्वेंशनल अप्रोच है बट आई वुड हाईली रिकमेंड दैट यू शुड find a good person good mental health professional for yourself and then you keep on like just navigating your life resolving your own things जो भी अनरिजॉल्व इमोशंस है थ्रू ट्रेनिंग इट कम आप उसको रिजॉल्व करो सो दैट आप एक बेटर ट्रेनिंग प्रोफेशनल बन सको क्योंकि आपका
Hmm.
काम वहां पे किसी को ये बताना नहीं कि तुम्हारे लिए ये सही है तुम्हारे लिए ये गलत है आपका काम सिर्फ बताना है कि ये काम ऐसे हो
Hmm.
सकता है वो कैसे करेंगे
Yeah.
क्यों करेंगे ये उनका लर्निंग उनका लाइफ है अडल्ट लर्निंग फिलोसफी फ्रॉम मैल्कम
Yeah.
नोस
Yeah. Correct.
right
Correct.
so that is what it is so for my parents for my partner for everyone out there yes they have taken a lot of hard sometimes टाइम नहीं है तो वो कह रहे हैं अच्छा ठीक है चलो हम रात में 12 बजे भी बात कर लेंगे it's a kind of I'm not saying sacrifice and all right no
Hmm.
every relationship is very transactional if you ask me but
Hmm.
they're still there like when you're like ranting oh my god this has happened and पता है उसने ये कर दिया ये वाला client ठीक नहीं था ऐसा हो गया वैसा हो गया they're my sounding boards and they have their own lives also to
Hmm.
resolve
Yeah.
so that's why I say that everyone should think like आप जिंदगी में बहुत कुछ कर रहे हो बहुत कुछ करते रहते हो
Hmm.
बट ये जो कुछ स्टेक होल्डर आपकी लाइफ में है ना दे पुट यू इन द ग्राउंड कि देखो एट द एंड आप हमारे लिए तो शिवानी हो गए आप 100 लोग के लिए ट्रेनर हो गया अब ये आपने कर लिया होगा
Hmm.
हो गया आप यूनिसेफ में काम कर रहे होगे पर हमारे लिए तो अब यही हो बताओ क्या करें
Correct.
एंड दैट इज वेरी
Correct.
इंपॉर्टेंट ग्राउंडेडनेस विच शुड पीपल शुड हैव you should always write
Absolutely.
we should always think on those perspective and not
Hmm.
leave these people because that will break you from inside that will take your
Very true.
humanity away
Very true.
एक एक पर्सन जो अकेले रहता है उसको अकेले रहता है एज एन अकेलापन नहीं खाता है उसको अकेला
Hmm.
रहना तो हर इंसान की फितरत है हर इंसान को
Hmm.
अकेले रहना आता है कोई माने चाहे ना माने
Hmm.
एंड आई एम कमिंग फ्रॉम साइकोलॉजिकल एंड लोग डरते हैं
Yeah.
नॉइस से
Hmm.
the noise which is surrounding when you're sitting alone कि अरे यार अभी ये हो जाएगा
Hmm.
ये thought people mostly are finding distractions when they're looking for relationship
Hmm.
so rather than finding a distraction actually value that voice जो आपको वो
Hmm.
नॉइस दे रही है भले आप 15 मिनट हर रोज अपने साथ बैठ जाओ भले
Hmm.
म्यूजिक म्यूजिक के थ्रू मेडिटेशन कर लो मेडिटेशन नहीं हो रहा है तो सिर्फ आंखें बंद करके बैठ जाओ सोने से पहले आंखें बंद करके सोच लो आज पूरे दिन में क्या हुआ है अच्छा अच्छा
Hmm.
ओ यहाँ पे मैंने गलती कर दी है अच्छा ठीक है मॉर्निंग में आई विल गेट अप एंड देन से सॉरी टू दैट पर्सन because life is actually
Hmm.
very short Maria and I have
Pausing,
been
reflecting, very important.
yeah and I have been in places when actually my life was at stake at least 6 times in my life एट
What?
स्टेक मतलब मुझे पता है कि अब 1 मिनट के
Wow.
बाद आइदर इट इज दिस और दिस इज दैट sometimes with the social impact situations and sometimes with the situation or maybe life आप कहीं जा रहे हो आपकी गाड़ी इधर उधर हो गई है या आप कहीं हैं and I'm so happy in those moments I was just like smiling and very grateful for the life universe has given to me and I'm very happy I always want to have this like I was like okay I was like in that moment मतलब मुझे पता ही नहीं है कि अभी 1 सेकंड के बाद मैं हूं या नहीं हूं I have no understanding of this बट उस मोमेंट में आई एम जस्ट स्माइलिंग लाइक हाँ यार माय फ्रेंड इज देयर स्मिता को तंग तो मैंने किया था बहुत ज्यादा उस टाइम में मजा तो बहुत आया उसको तंग करके माय पार्टनर सुमित हिज नेम इज सुमित लाइक ओके सुमित gave me let's say like he expressed something and I was like हाँ ठीक है so we had good discussions about this thing with my parents हाँ तंग करने में उनको भी मजा तो थोड़ा आया था रात में मैं 12 बजे काम कर रही हूँ आपको ऐसे अपने बच्चे की चिंता नहीं है बात क्या करो मेरे से
Hmm.
so those things make me smile at the end of the day.
That
Even
is
if
exactly
sometimes
what we
good,
want,
sometimes
right,
bad.
Shivani?
Yeah,
नहीं नहीं वही चाहिए ना लाइफ में दैट
correct.
सी लाइफ मेरे हिसाब से जो है ना यू आर हियर फॉर अ सर्टेन टाइम एंड यू आर हियर
Yes.
फॉर अ पर्पस राइट एंड फॉर मी स्पेशली विद अ लॉट ऑफ एआई कमिंग इन आई कीप टेलिंग पीपल कि भाई एआई के चक्कर में ना आपकी जो ह्यूमन इंटेलिजेंस है उसको सैक्रिफाइस मत करो. डोंट बी सो रिलायंट ऑन एवरीथिंग एआई दैट you're not really building human connections. And this is the best time because AI
हाँ,
is helping us to get rid of the manual tasks. Now you have more time, right? तो क्या करोगे टाइम का? Spend with
बिल्कुल।
your loved ones. Build that sort of relationship that when something happens to you, आने चाहिए लोग. जैसे मेरे लिए ऐसा होता है that if I'm training someone, I want to make so much of impact onto their life. And just as you said, just like your Ustad ji, I will keep checking on them every once in a while. कि भाई क्या चल रहा है life में, everything okay? Why? Because
हाँ,
I want कि यार, if something happens to me, maybe they will not be able to come here physically, but at least उनको ना ऐसा लगना चाहिए यार एक बहुत अच्छा इंसान मेरे लाइफ से चला गया. They should miss me. That
बिल्कुल।
sort of impact रहे कि यार एटलीस्ट वो मेरे को बोले यार ये 5 मिनट के लिए ना मैं काम नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ बिकॉज दिस पर्सन हैज पास्ड अवे.
I'll tell
आई
you
एम नॉट
one more
ऑब्वियसली
thing,
एक्सपेक्टिंग.
Maya.
Yeah.
One more thing, which I do, mostly, like, that is something which I have been practicing, and later on I found a partner, though they also practice it. So if I'm meeting you, let's say I know that I'm meeting Maria, like physically, we are meeting offline, and so I definitely like at least get maybe a flower to you for you, or maybe
Yes, yes, yes.
something like it. लोग फिर बोलते हैं कि flower तो no, it's not the flower. It's like I really wanted to appreciate you for taking your time out for
Hmm.
me, which is very
Hmm.
important. And then you like sit with me and then talk to me and then have this conversation. And let's say if we are at a marketplace, and recently this happened. So one of colleague I met at they are from UNFPA, so they
Hmm.
work on female related issues and reproductive issues, and at the same time all the other female related issues only. So that is a different authority of UNICEF only, UN
Hmm.
agency only. So I met them. Their name is Nitin. I'm taking the name also because I'm very
Hmm.
sure they're going to watch this podcast and then they'll smile. Another thing is that I met them there only, and then they were beautifully speaking, and they were telling about their own experiences with the gender identities and how they have worked this, that, and everything. We
Hmm.
spoke, we had like good connect. We like okay, तो अभी 4 बजे खत्म हो गया है जो मीटिंग चल रहा है वो 4 बजे खत्म हो गया है तो लाइक आई एम गोइंग टू टुवर्ड्स दिल्ली हाट इन दिल्ली तो मैंने सोचा लाइक आई एम आल्सो गोइंग से या प्लीज हॉप ऑन द सेम कैब थोड़ी और बात कर लेंगे जाते जाते फिर हमारा प्लान चेंज हो गया दिल्ली हाट इज अ मार्केट प्लेस जहाँ पे बहुत सारे डिफरेंट डिफरेंट जगहों के ग्रामोद्योग प्रोडक्ट्स भी मिलते हैं तो अगर
Hmm.
आप दिल्ली आ रहे हैं कभी तो प्लीज विजिट दिल्ली हाट INA दिल्ली हाट
Hmm.
देयर आर 3 अदर दिल्ली हार्ट्स बाय द वे सो उन्होंने कहा अच्छा चलो ठीक है मैं भी बैठता हूँ मैंने कहा ठीक है चलो आप भी चलो अच्छी बात है and मैं भी बैठूंगी ये रोज मैंने कहा ठीक है वहां बैठ के हमने और बातें करी और बातें करी और बातें करी ठीक है फिर वहां से वापस आते आते वी वर जस्ट एक्सप्लोरिंग तो वहां पे एक अतर का स्टोर था
Hmm.
सो आई थॉट कि कुछ तो देना चाहिए बिकॉज लाइक इट्स अ
Yeah.
काइंड ऑफ सुवेनियर एज वेल सो
Yes.
फिर मैं हम लोग ऐसे चेक करें तो दे टोल्ड मी दैट ओके मुझे ना फ्लोरल स्मेल बहुत अच्छी लगती है मैंने कहा अच्छा
Hmm.
ठीक है और आई एम वेरी फॉन्ड ऑफ फ्रेग्रेंसेस बाय द वे मी like anywhere and everywhere. So I was like, okay. So there was this very nice attar which I got. I was like, okay. मैंने उन्हें क्योंकि पहली बार मिल रहे हैं तो सेंसेस का पता नहीं वेरी सब्जेक्टिव तो उन्होंने
Hmm.
खुद ही कहा कि ये वाला बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है वो तो आई गॉट इट फॉर देम
Hmm.
Right. Then they were like, no, 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 this is not good. We are meeting for the first time. ऐसे थोड़े ना होता है, वैसे थोड़े ना होता है. I told Nitin, it's a kind of, you can say the token of appreciation.
Hmm.
I really enjoyed. You gave me at least 3-4 hours of very good time. I listened to a
Yes.
lot of things, lot of understanding. ठीक है. Now we went back home, separate. Okay.
Hmm.
I opened my WhatsApp to just say thank you. That's the thing I follow. I'm a very grateful person in my life also. Like, okay,
Hmm.
thank you. I opened the WhatsApp, the number was already saved. I said, what?
Hmm.
How and why? So I saw 2 years back, Nitin texted me for a job opening, which I posted somewhere. And then they
Hmm.
said that they want this job opening. And then at that moment, I said that is like their experience was not the kind of eligibility criteria that was meeting. And we already have spoken 2 years back.
क्या बात.
And then I told them, Nitin, see, I have the screenshot because I mostly don't delete my WhatsApp chats and all. So I said, see, we already met. You were saying today only I'm meeting, today only I'm meeting. See, up that time I could not give you a perfume. This time I'm giving you a thar. So always accept when a person is giving you something. I'm not saying gifting, but giving you something away with a good energy. Take it. And they were like, यार ये बात तो सही है हमें कहाँ मिलना था. So we connected for like what 3 4 5 minutes for that job opportunity. We
Hmm.
never really spoke after that, and then we met at the UN agendas and they work for different
Hmm.
agency I work for different agency and then after that like we spent good time and that's how we got to know about it
This
so
is
these are the
amazing.
kind of memories I cherish And
Oh,
I think so
yes.
that's how we should celebrate life. खुश रहो भाई, क्या है
Absolutely.
इतना? ठीक है, chill
Absolutely.
है सब.
Absolutely. And I think there's so much that we can actually cherish about life. The very fact that we are alive is something that we
Yeah,
should be very grateful for. And I'm very happy that, as you rightly said, all of this becomes part of your destiny, becomes part of your karma. And then I have connected with you. And I'm very happy. Like for me also, this podcast has been a game changer. I'm connecting with a lot of new people, learning so many lessons from their life.
absolutely.
One of the things that will also happen eventually through the podcast is for those people who actually get to know me, friends, family, colleagues. Uh, One of my, part of the will of life is when you miss me, ये वाले YouTube पे videos देख लेना, because that is how
Absolutely.
you'll at least see me. So that's one of the reason I had to say podcast to start करना है. I don't really care about how many people are watching, but when something happens and I pass away, I know at least for my loved one that is what they'll be like, oh अच्छा बात किया था यार, सुन लेना चाहिए था
हाँ.
उस time पे.
My mom, my,
But
my,
yeah,
my mom will be like saying this कि हाँ ये सब बातें तो मैंने तुम्हें बताई. I know, I want her to take that credits.
ये बात सही है, ये बात सही.
Yeah.
But it's been an absolutely, I would say, enriching interaction that we had, and there's so many things, right from Mehanti tribe to learning about Ustad, learning about so many things, what you're doing, how, the thing that we spoke about, the social impact. Your journey has been absolutely brilliant. I'm so happy, I would say, that even after speaking for so long, it feels as like बहुत कम है. And I know for a fact that there's बहुत सारी चीजें हैं बात करने, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं सीखने के लिए. And to the audience, I would suggest, I'm just adding Shivani's links, right? Her LinkedIn profile in the description. Do follow her. I'll also add her company's website into the description. Please reach out to them, get them for your organization. If your organization is looking for someone who actually understand what the problem is in terms of L&D, want someone to actually come and do those training, regardless of which part of the world you are, reach out to Mehan Learning and Development. I
Absolutely.
know for sure Shivani and the entire team are going to do the fabulous job. And now that you know about her journey, also about why and what she is trying to do, I think with that sort of understanding, all of us would be able to relate. It's not just getting a learning partner. It is about getting a learning partner who really, really understands and is going to be with you because they really care about you. So, having said that, Shivani, thank you so much once again. To all the viewers who have been here so far, if you are here so far, make sure that you engage with the content. So like, if you resonate with something, just add it in the comment. What is it throughout this entire thing that you like, hey, you know what Shivani said was like, wow. Put that in the comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's a small thing, in fact quite interesting. If I look back, 6 weeks ago I was struggling to get about 100 subscribers, and right now it's about just close to 250. So small growth, but I'd never expect कि यार 2 महीने में इतने सारे हो जाएंगे. So 200-250 बहुत होते हैं. And I have to thank everyone who's been part of this journey, helping me to also improve with each of the podcasts. And a special thanks to you, Shivani.
So much
बहुत
fun.
सारी चीजें हैं. I'll obviously reach out to you to learn about your entrepreneurial journey and how I can also possibly learn a few things, especially on that journey, and become partners with you in achieving this. By the way, the AI for Trainer is happening. When is the next batch?
October first week. October first week, because festivities are there, folks, in the last week of September. Enjoy with your families. Leave everything apart.
Perfect. But if you are a trainer, if you are someone who looks up for getting using AI, this would be an absolute brilliant opportunity. So make sure that you're checking the website. If you're following Shivani on LinkedIn, for sure you'll get the updates. But AI for trainers, specifically for trainers, how trainers can actually leverage AI. That is an absolute brilliant session. Outside of the market, people are charging like a 40K, 50K, and even like a lakh rupees. Shivani's company is offering at a very, very reasonable price. Get that certification for yourself. I highly recommend that you get this. And thank you once again for watching this podcast. Shivani, thank you. Thank you for, once again for being here. Much appreciated.
Thank you so much, Maria, for having me here. And I would like to take 2 more minutes and say something about you and why the tribe is growing. Maria, I have been, like I said, I keep on experimenting. Like people say कि okay, introduction कैसे देना है, तो ऐसे कि बहुत कुछ है, आप देख लो आपको क्या क्या डालना है आपके relevance के हिसाब से. Why is that so? It's not a flex. I'm just saying this because see, uh, when I see you doing the podcast, like the kind of questions you're asking, or the kind of inputs which you want from me, it's beyond me being just an identity. Like of course, like I'm a trainer, I'm an HR L&D specialist, I'm co-founder of MeHAN, UNICEF,
Yeah.
YuWaah, a lot of things are there. But to be able to to be able to make the place so comfortable that I'm able to share about, okay, that was there, this is what I would like to give away, or maybe this has been my life journey, and this is some vulnerable part as well, some failure part as well, somewhere where I might have experimented as well. That is a skill, Maria. It
Yes.
cannot be done if you're not grounded. And I can say this because I have been a podcaster by myself for a lot of initiatives out there. And before this, also, there was a song nation called Agape. So I used to take the podcast as a host for the people from LGBTQI community, and how exactly the journey has to be navigated. And then later
Mm.
on for skill development, a lot of podcasts I've done. But yeah, what I've learned from the podcasting journey is it makes you an enriched person and grounded person, because you see there's so much to do and so
Yes.
much to learn. And I'm so happy that you already have that understanding. And in L&D space, in training development and L&D space, there are very less number of resources which tell people that okay, this is how you do it,
Mm.
how to make portfolios, how to talk to client, how to what kind of values you should have training into training. So all of those things you're bringing, I have been following your journey since I think so one month or 1.5 months now, and all of the podcasts are really beautiful, Maria. Like the kind of guests you are getting in, the kind of BD you are doing in, the kind of perspectives people are putting on your podcast, it's going to stay with us and it's going to be an OG platform. If someone wants to listen to podcast for training and development, I can assure that it is going to be this podcast, because this is very raw, this is very vulnerable, and this is very
Yes.
practical. कोई किसी इंसान की 2 घंटे के बाद 1 घंटे के बाद तभी सुनेगा जब उसको वो समझ आ रहा है कि हाँ यार मेरी जिंदगी के बारे में बात हुई, बेसिकली ये
Mm.
मेरे बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. तो दैट
Mm.
relatability is there, and I'm so happy to be here. And yeah, weekly podcast with Shivani can also be done. I'll not shy away from the fact.
Has to be done for sure.
Yeah,
And
and
we
also
will
to
do a
all
lot of
the
LinkedIn event for sure, and the
Yeah, and to
podcast
all the fellow
for sure.
trainers,
Podcast bhi karenge.
facilitators, and people from L&D community, particularly, like Sir said, that you can check out our website. Whatever we do at Mehan, we do it right from our heart and with the market relevance and with a lot of R&D. And we keep to stay in budget because we understand that you are also kind of investing into your skill set. So we are very ROI oriented organization. So AI for trainer is happening, and there's another thing called L&D specialist. If you're someone who's starting with the L&D, or you're already into training but you don't understand how to do TNA, or you want to learn more about, let's say, monitoring and evaluation, instructional designing. One of the really good features which we have in our certification course is that, let's say you paid now. For example, you paid for August cohort or September cohort, and in case you missed maybe one class or two class, we don't take away the chances for you to learn more. So you can always come back December, because we host it every month, and you can still be a part of this course as many time as you want without even paying any money, any extra money. So let's say and every course is priced at 5,000 rupees. So let's say you are doing it, let's say AI for trainers in September. Even if we told everything to you, but somehow you're not being able to implement it because of XYZ reasons that
Mm.
might be there. So we are very much happy to welcome you again in October, November, December, January, February, 12 times, 13 times. Even though we'll provide a recorded lecture and everything, but we understand that the learning happens with the reinforcement and retention.
Mm.
And sometimes going through the audio and video becomes very monotonous.
Mm.
So your facilitators are always there to support you into that. So learning हमारे side से resources में कभी कोई कमी नहीं रहेगी. You please plan your own journey and be wonderful trainers out there, because 2047 में भारत अगर विश्व गुरु बनना भी चाह रहा है और हम जहां तक पहुंचने वाले हैं उसके लिए वी वुड नीड अ लॉट ऑफ ट्रेनर्स। हर अगले दिन स्किल सेट ऑब्सोलीट हो रहे हैं। आपको भी ये सोचना पड़ेगा कि अच्छा, सिर्फ सॉफ्ट स्किल ट्रेनिंग से अब काम नहीं चलेगा। देयर आर लॉट ऑफ अदर थिंग्स व्हिच यू कैन डू आउट देयर। कीप एक्सप्लोरिंग, कीप ऑन बीइंग अ बेटर ट्रेनर, एंड इन एवरी कोर्स आउट देयर वी विल टेल यू अबाउट सर्टेन पार्ट ऑफ बीडी, बिकॉज हम ये चाहते हैं कि अगर आप 5,000 हमारे साथ इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, go ahead and like retrieve it in maybe like 2-3 months also. So that is also we want. So yeah, that is what it is, Maria, and thank you so much for
Absolutely.
having me.